It can be snowing, but the stars will come out tonight, and they will shine.
It is Steve Yzerman's 10th year in the National Hockey League, 5 consecutive seasons of 100 points or better, and he's going to the All-Star game for the 7th time. A franchise player with goals like that to prove it. And his GM coach, Brian Murray, says, don't listen to the rumors. He's not going anywhere. So the Sharks have got to face him tonight. And welcome to ESPN's National Hockey Night from the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. The San Jose Sharks and the Detroit Red Wings. Hello, everybody. Gary Thorne, and this is the entranceway to the Red Wings locker room. And these are some of the great names who have played here. This is Ted Lindsay, one of the toughest players this league has ever seen. Alex Delvecchio, 24 years as a Red Wing, a forward, and still known as Mr. Hockey, Gordie Howe. Jim Schoenfeld, more history from Detroit this season is what they would like to make, but it's been a bit of a struggle.
Well, you never know what team is going to take the ice. It's been an up and down year for the Detroit Red Wings. The one constant has been the play of Steve Yzerman. He guarantees to excite every building he plays in throughout the National Hockey League.
And this, of course, is the old and the new. 67 years in the league for Detroit, 2nd season for the Sharks.
Well, the Sharks have a good nucleus of young players, and they're looking to the leadership of players like Doug Wilson, Kelly Kissio, and not only on the ice, but the off the ice. These are classy veteran, consummate pros who know the right way to play the game and the right way to conduct themselves.
And, Jim, classy players who've known how to get it done have brought 7 Stanley Cups to Detroit, the last one in 54-55. And if there's going to be another, this is the man who's going to lead them there. With plays like this, who knows? It just might be their season. Yzerman will be on the ice tonight. When we come back to face off the Red Wings and the Sharks.
The Lone Ranger.
National Hockey Night is brought to you by Cold Filter Genuine Draft Light. There's nothing typical about it. By Subway, the place where fresh is the taste. And by The Car, the American Express car. Don't leave home without it.
And welcome back to Detroit, everybody. Gary Thorne, Jim Schoenfeld, 3rd meeting of the season for the Red Wings and the Sharks. The Red Wings have won the first 2, 6-3 and 4-3. We are ready to go as Kelly Kissio of the San Jose Sharks goes against Steve Yzerman. Draw one back to Steve Chason, and we are underway. Great to have you with us here from Detroit on this Friday night. Sent in wide of the net. Could be an icing call on the touch-up, and it is, and we'll quickly take it back the other way. Take a look at the goaltenders who'll be playing in tonight's game. We'll have a couple of 24-year-olds and a brand new papa. Tim Shovelday, his wife Leona, gave birth to their 2nd child, 9-pound, 8-ounce boy on Wednesday. So Daddy and Mom have their 2nd in the family. And Jeff Hackett, who's been in 12 in a row now with the San Jose Sharks, formerly with the New York Islanders, out of London, Ontario, is his home. Making the start, you see the record for a San Jose Shark team that has really struggled. They are 6-36-2.
Well, they've got a good challenge tonight against these Red Wings. Brian Murray going strength against strength. Kissio's line for the Sharks has been their most potent scoring line. So Murray, instead of putting a checking line against him, he comes right back with the Yzerman line. So that'll be an interesting matchup to watch tonight and see if Murray wants that matchup to remain throughout the game.
Steve Yzerman, of course, the leading scorer for the Detroit Red Wings. Battled into the corner by Johan Garpenlov. Garpenlov, a former Detroit Red Wing, not former teammate. Gerard Gallant will send it in. Played at the side of the net by Hackett. Swept around to the near side. San Jose Sharks don't get a lead very often. Garpenlov in. And the save made by Shovelday. Garpenlov trying to back it up. Got hit. Able to hold it in the zone to Kelly Kissio. Former New York Ranger. Got it behind the net. Wraparound shot deflects out in front. Chason had it in the skates. Got tied up. Rolls in on goal. And without a stick, Shovelday decides it's best to cover. Our scratches in the game tonight. A lot who aren't going to be listed. First of all, for Detroit, mostly coaches' choices. Keith Primo's got the flu, so he's out of there. Chris Tansel, Grodnick, Cummins, and Vial are all out for Detroit. Rayando, 3rd goaltender right now, has been out. Brian Hayward, backup goaltender, is out of there. David Williams, Lyndon Byers, and Michel Picard are out. More importantly for the San Jose Sharks are the people who are out for a much longer period. There you see the head coach and the mighty marathon runner right there, George Kingston, who's behind the bench for the second season with the San Jose Shark team. See what he's done over 2 seasons. It has for both years. It has been a real struggle for them. On the face-off, cleared off into the corner. The check put on by Yaroslav Otrevel, 24-year-old Czech wearing number 42. His dad is here. He's from Czechoslovakia and playing in his first National Hockey League game. Eisenbart shot deflected wide of the net by Hackett. Good save made. So here's a premiere for this young man. Eisenbart in behind the net, getting tied up, tried to swing it in front. Fedorov's got it. Fedorov moves to the middle, drops it off Sean Burr. Burr shot, save made. Rebound is kicked out towards the point and cleared out by McDonough. And the Sharks will just send it in wide of the net. They want to change it up. Red Wings, when they are rolling, can be a very explosive offensive team. They come into tonight's game 6th in the league in offense, while the San Jose Sharks are 22nd in offense. The Sharks enter all games, I guess, as an underdog. Sometimes you like that, but I don't think you like that for an entire season. And a 2-line offside pass.
Jimmy Carson for the Detroit Red Wings, a natural goal scorer. Has a real knack of putting the puck in the net, but he's not as reliable as Coach Brian Murray would like him to be. When you have your high-skilled players that play a lot and they're on the ice in key situations, Gary, you need to know you can count on them game in and game out, not only to score the hat trick in the 8-3 victory, but to get that goal in the 1-1 game that'll put your team ahead.
Brian Murray behind the bench with Detroit now, his 3rd season here after 9 years with Washington. Veteran coach looking to move this team on, high expectations. Brad McCrimmon takes it in behind the line. The Detroit Red Wings trying different people. They haven't been particularly pleased with the way they've been playing of late. Sent back in by Tom Peterson, but offside.
The biggest problem for the Red Wings has been from their blue line back. They had a couple of youngsters, Konstantinov especially, that really didn't play as well as they had played in the rookie year. Nicholas Lindstrom last year was a runner-up for the Calder voting as Rookie of the Year, and he really has not played to form. He was a plus 36 last year. That was 3rd best in the National Hockey League. This year, he's even.
That is not what they had hoped to get out of him, and of course not what he wanted either. Sophomore slump setting in. Dallas Drake recently called up, drops it into the zone. Rob Zittler goes back to get it. Held in at the point by Mark Howe, the veteran. Howe getting plenty of defensive play out there once again this season. Jeff Rogers had it, lost it. Brought back in by Drake. Drake centering pass, in front, score! Ray Shepherd.
Zettler makes a good hit behind the San Jose net, but the puck comes out front and there's a lack of coverage. Drake's coming. Zettler makes a good play one-on-one. Drake takes a hit, makes a good pass before going behind the net. And where are the San Jose Shark defenders? Shepherd is standing there completely unmolested all by himself. He has all the time in the world to do whatever he wants with his puck and with goaltender Hackett. And he gives the Wings the first goal of the hockey game.
17th goal of the season for Ray Shepherd of Detroit. 6-year National Hockey League veteran, and quickly they bounce on top. And that has been obviously one of the real problems had by the Sharks team all season long. Mentioned about people who they don't have. They've got some fine young players. Pat Falloon, one of them, who was going to go to the All-Star game as their representative, being operated on today. Arthroscopic shoulder surgery on Pat Falloon, so he's probably gone. Urbe, a goaltender, 25-year-old, is out injured. Sadis Olza-Lynch is injured. They've got key people who they wanted to have in the lineup missing, and George Kingston, that has made it just that much more difficult for him this season to put anything together for this team. Shot in and a save made by Hackett on chase-on shot from the point. Wilson playing it from behind the net. Doug Wilson got it out of the zone. Sharks just dump it in. Konstantinov going back to get it. Detroit Red Wings trying to turn. They want to up their record as they right now are making a charge at Chicago. Backhand shot, Hackett the save, rebound right out in front, not quite. Sheldon Kennedy, the initial shot. Kennedy trying to hold it in, gets knocked down. Robin Bawa got a pretty good piece of him. 26-year-old Bawa coming over from Vancouver this season. Chase on, shot was blocked, tried to dump it back out in front, sits in the slot. Wilson poked it away. Bawa tried to play it out of the zone, couldn't get it going. Went through Probert's legs, back to Bob Probert. He couldn't handle it. Probert giving chase, tipped out of the zone by Smolik. Doug Smolik wearing number 19, one of the young rookies who they are very high on. Chasen will send it back in. 1-0 lead. Red Wings on top. 16:22 left to go here in the first. Shepard got his 17th at 2:25. The assist going to Drake on the even strength goal. Garpenlov brings it the other way to Kelly Kissio. A little room. Kissio dropped it off, intercepted, and played to the boards. Good breakup by Dino Cicerelli, who stepped in on the centering pass that time. And the Sharks can't hold.
Goodrow would have been all alone. An exceptional job coming back for Cicerelli. He didn't really stay with his check, but he did stay between his check and the goaltender, laid his stick down flat, and presented that pass from coming across to Goodrow.
Neil Wilkinson got it out of the zone. Down on the ice goes Jason Moore, the Sharks defenseman. Sent in wide. Eisenbach back to get Steve Yzerman back to get it. Rolled it out in front. Just missed Gallant. Gallant behind the net. This line functioning again now for the Detroit Red Wings, as they've got Cicerelli, Gallant, and Yzerman together. The drop pass, Wilkinson tipped it away, and Wilkinson will run it out. The big defenseman, Neil Wilkinson, comes to the red line and flips in wide. George Kingston saying his club does not have the kind of speed they need yet, especially with the people who are injured that are out, who gave them that speed. That can be a real problem against a team like Detroit, but they have played them tough in the couple of games thus far this season. Swept up at center ice, intercepted there by Mike Sullivan. Sullivan drops it deeper into his own end. Lautreval, the rookie in his first game, got it up. Sullivan looking back to him. Lautreval going to the front of the net, just kicked by the defenseman wide. Lautreval could not play it in the corner, and up and out of the zone. Arms up for the icing call. If the Sharks get their first end, they will. And we'll be back to Detroit, where the Red Wings have taken the 1-0 lead. George Kingston Sharks on a long road trip. Yzerman 11th in the league in scoring and 6th in goals, and of course number 1 in scoring with 62 points right now for the Detroit Red Wings. Face-off whipped in on goal, deflected, save made. Good save made by Tim Cheveldae. Cheveldae had the shot put on right off the face-off. Wilson will chase it down. There'll be another icing call here, and the face-off will be back in the Detroit zone. Tim Cheveldae had a great season last year. 38, 23, and 9.
The Wings goal. You see Drake coming, and there's the coverage mix-up. Two Sharks bump into each other. Evison was coming back, and he bumped into Odgers, and they just let their man go because of that collision. And Shepard had himself an easy Red Wing goal. Well, easy if you're a good goal scorer.
That's right. All good scorers could say it's easy, right? 14:31 left here in the first. 5-2 the shots on goal in favor of Detroit. The Sharks have given up more shots than any other team in the National Hockey League this season. Their goaltenders have really been pummeled most games this year. Drake bringing it in. Drake trying to dump it back into the center. Konstantinov had moved up on the play. Could not get anything going. Chason has it. Chason sends it back. Drop pass in the middle. Knocked to the board. Jimmy Carson couldn't handle it. Played there by Jeff Odgers. Odgers got tied up in the corner. Chason stepped up to try and hold it in. Flipped away by Wilson to center. Loose at center. No one's got it. Chason. Chason's going to go to the All-Star game too. Steve Yzerman was voted in. Chason was selected. He'll be the other Red Wing. The two who will go to Montreal for this year's All-Star game.
Chason is having what could be a banner year for him.
There he is. Shot, the save made. Deflected back in by Chason and covered up. Jeff Hackett, 2 saves that time. This is Jimmy was talking about Steve Chason.
Well, he has 9 goals and 27 assists right now, and he's on a pace to set career marks in all scoring. So he is one of the defenders that Brian Murray should be pleased about, and he's gotten steady performance from Mark Howe. Mark's a +2. Brad McCrim is a +14, but they need more strength behind that Detroit blue line.
And we want to remind you tomorrow here on ESPN at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 Pacific, showtime for top seniors performing in front of pro scouts in the star-studded Senior Bowl. Right here on ESPN tomorrow, you'll see lots of great stars. Reggie Brooks out of Notre Dame, Alex Van Pelt out of Pittsburgh. All kinds of seniors will be performing. So tomorrow, 2 Eastern for the Senior Bowl. Red Wings get back onside. The drop pass in the middle to Sheldon Kennedy. Kennedy running it in behind the net. Got knocked down. Got it to the side of the net. Probert jammed at it. Hackett made the the save. Puck's free in the corner. Bob Probert ran in, found the rebound. Puck just sitting there. Hackett held his position and was able to make the save.
Well, Dave Maley did a good job coming back in Sillinger, but Wilkinson left Probert a little bit unattended. Maley took out his man, and the defender left Probert, and he almost jammed that puck past Hackett.
He was almost in the net himself. Sheldon Kennedy goes deeper in his own end, and he sends it behind the net. The Detroit Red Wings showing some of the offensive punch here. They've got one up, could easily have had a couple more. Racine will chase it down. Arm is up for icing here. Racine on the touch-up gets the whistle.
The Sharks guilty again of defensive zone coverage, and they can't continue a game like that against the wing. There's Maley coming back. He's the centerman. He's doing a good job. He has his man tied up, but Probert is left. Wilkinson cannot wait until the puck comes to Probert. When a man is that close to your goaltender, you have to get to him, get your stick between the legs, drive his stick up, and get him out of there.
Bob Probert heading back to the bench. Probert has picked up 7 goals, 22 assists at 168 penalty minutes. Detroit quickly jumping out, not only with the lead, but also the lead in shots on goal. Kelly Kissio able to dump it out the center. The Sharks have not won in their last 8. They are 0-7-1. They're on a long road trip. They're 4th of 9 games on the road, which will take them 10,791 miles and 4 times across the Canadian border before they go home.
Build up those frequent flyer points, Thorny.
But they can't. They've got their own plane. Well, so there are no frequent flyer points for you. Gerard Gallant brings it in. Gallant got tied up, tipped away from him into the corner by Tom Peterson, another one of the rookies. There's Wilson going back to get it. Sticks get up in the air. Good draw and a good piece of them in the corner. And the Sharks able to get it out. Kelly Kissio is up front. Pass comes to him. And Kissio's offside. He had to go sideways at the line. Garfinlove ahead of him on the left.
A bit of a tough shift for Dino Ciccarelli. He got cranked a couple of times out there, Gary. You see him there helmetless. Goodrow's coming in. He's going to give him a shot. Ciccarelli knew he was coming, and there goes the elbow to Goodrow's head coming in, and there's another slam, but he was a little upset because prior to that, he was leveled pretty well coming back. Boom, and there it is by Zettler. And Rob Zettler is a defenseman that likes to hit. He throws a lot of body checks in the course of a hockey game.
And Zettler has the size to be able to get that done. 6'3", 190-pounder in his 4th season, 24-year-old Zettler. Faceoff will be won by the Sharks, and they'll just dump it into the corner. Zomlak sent it in. You see how the lack of speed affects the game of the Sharks offensively. All we've seen here is they just dump it into the zone and then don't get anything going. I mean, Detroit simply goes back, plays it out.
They're a team that's been plagued. They felt their forwards were too small. They had quick, speedy forwards, and they were getting hammered all the time. They've gone and they've made a transition. They've gotten some bigger guys to balance out the strength. But with bigger guys, you lose a little of the speed.
From Detroit, Red Wings leading San Jose 1-0. Sergei Fedorov, 4 years with the Soviet Red Army team, and his 3rd year at Detroit, only 23 years old. Runner-up for the Selke Trophy, and he plays both ends of the ice very well. Shot in on goal, taken behind the net by Steve Chasson. You see the amount of ice time Chasson has already gotten in this game. He's a playmaker, shoots it in from center. Hackett tipped it away, and that one was butterflying on him. Fedorov in the corner, could not hold it in, tipped to the point. Chasson again trying to whip it in. Bounces away to Wilson. Wilson sends it out through center. Could not connect on the pass. 11 minutes to go here in the first period. Both teams will change it up on the fly. The Detroit Red Wings trying to improve their record at home. They're 14-11-1 at home. And that's not too hot for them. Shot save made, rebound loose. Kicked away into the corner by Cheveldae. Tim Cheveldae. Horrible, the opportunity coming through the middle. That could have been a tie game right there, and Cheveldae made the nice play. Touch-up will be by Jason Moore of the Sharks on the icing call. Now, the Sharks have had some opportunities here on the 4 shots they've had.
As the Sharks are coming across the blue line, the wing defenders are backing in, sometimes unnecessarily, because here's a 2-on-2 situation. Konstantinov backs up. Now Korovo beats Isabart to the puck, and it just goes off his stick as Carson comes back to give him a hand, or he would have had himself an empty netter. You see the Detroit goaltender Cheveldae is a little bit out of position there, but again, that's the determination of coming back. It's a 2-on-2. Mark your man and stay with him, Gary.
Tim Cheveldae coming up with a save to hang on to that lead that time. The Sharks bid for one. Back to center ice, played by Jason Moore again. Moore sweeps it right back in, takes the hop to the side of the net on Cheveldae, who had gone behind him. Lidstrom working from behind the net, got it out. Nicholas Lidstrom. They hope to get some more points from in the second half of the year. Hackett looks at it behind the net, went back to get it, and a whistle behind the play as a Red Wing player down. The linesman blowing the whistle on the touch-up. No penalty. Pretty good hit behind the net, though, on Dallas Drake.
I think Hackett got away with one as Drake was rounding the net trying to catch up to that puck to prevent the icing. Hackett reached out his arm and gave him a pretty good shot. Here's Hackett, and he thinks it's going to be too close to call, so he just stays there and he gives him a little elbow, making sure that the Sharks get back, as Wilkinson does, to touch the puck. And there's the shot to the jaw, and Drake goes down, and the face-off is to the right of Tim Shovelday.
Drake took a pretty good bounce on the ice. Last season, he played at Northern Michigan, first-team All-American. Northern Michigan won the '91 NCAA title. Dallas Drake's been up and down from the minors and getting an opportunity in this his rookie season. He has the potential to be a scorer on this Detroit team.
Well, you mentioned about Fedorov being a runner-up for the Selke Award as the league's best defensive forward. That was in his sophomore year, so the sophomore jinx is not for all the Detroit Red Wing players. His rookie year, he was runner-up for the Calder Trophy at Belfast. Chicago won that. He has terrific speed. Obviously, if he can be a runner-up for the Selke, he knows how to play the game defensively. He may be one of these up-and-coming stars to watch for the future.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any question about that. ESPN's National Hockey Night. We are at the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. Gary Thorne, Jim Schoenfeld with you. Shepherd has the only goal in this game. Detroit has the 1-0 lead, and they are out shooting San Jose 8-4 right now. Sharks go back to get it. Neil Wilkinson on defense. Detroit challenging as they are checking all over the ice, trying not to give any room. Played back in behind the net by Jeff Odgers. Odgers tried to get it out to Corvo, could not. Konstantinov took it away. And the Red Wings will start out of their own end. They love to cut through center ice right there and try and create 2-on-1s when they can. Dallas Drake start on one side and cut back through the middle. Wilkinson, poke checked away from him by Racine. Back to Corvo. Corvo, former Capital, put it on net. Corvo tried to dump it in again. Blocked. Lidstrom got a piece of that one and got it out. Drake cleared it out through center. And the Red Wings back in a 3-on-3. Under centering pass off Odgers' stick, rather, was knocked away. Kelly Kissio starts it up ice. Kissio's alone now as the Sharks are changing it up. Or Peterson, rather. Peterson shoots it in wide. Nobody was there with him. He had no place to put it. Ray Whitney drops it off. Puck freed up. Whitney goes to the front of the net. Moves over on the check. Taken away by Sheldon Kennedy, who falls down. Get it out through center to Howe. Howe coming in a 3-on-2 break. Howe, McCrimmon, and Probert to Probert. Hit his skate. Tipped away by Jeff Hackett. Probert really tried to direct that one in on net, coming off the skate that time. Another potential trip as McCrimmon got dumped out there by Moore. No call on that one. Sharks get back on side and send it in. Shot right back out. Mark Howe was able to clear the zone. Tipped in on the near side by Robin Bawa. And touched up on the other side of the red line when they put it in.
There are a couple of classy defensemen out here. Brad McCrimmon is one, but that's not the one I was going to talk about. Mark Howe for the Detroit Red Wings, and of course Doug Wilson for the San Jose Sharks. Howe is playing very well for the Wings this year. They would like to have seen more offensive production, especially on the power play from Howe. He makes a nice feed there to Probert in front of the net, but he's a good steadying influence for this defense. He's not a guy they have to change. Howe's good. He knows how to play well in the playoffs. They have to make an addition of a big, rough, and tough guy that can move bodies and also move the puck.
That may yet be done. Cleared out of the zone by Wilson. Kissio at center. Garpenlov and Goodrow on the line with him. Goodrow out of Providence College, who came on in a flurry. 14 goals in his first 13 games. 2 hat tricks, the first 2 ever for any San Jose Shark. Turnaround shot, Hackett to save, rebound, tipped just wide of the net. Dino Ciccarelli denied that time by Hackett. Ciccarelli was all alone in front. Ciccarelli goes to the corner. Dropped it a little deeper. Hackett goes back to play it. The defensemen of the Red Wings are pinching in, trying to hold it in. The forwards are covering up. Garpenlov had it tipped away by Gallant. Into the middle, intended for Wilson. Came free. Gallant got it out. Yzerman tried to turn it up ice and couldn't do it. They were trying to break it at 2-on-1. Detroit leading here by a score of 1-0. The Sharks dug Zomlak. Chase back Wilkinson. Wilkinson had Ciccarelli in front of him. Yzerman got a piece to knock it down to Chase on. Chase on back to Yzerman. Eiserman sends it in on the near side. Centering pass right through the middle, just wide of Sean Burr. Burr was all alone, but it was an aerial pass and it went over his stick. UB McDonough back in. Shot deflected wide of the net that time. Otterville took the shot. And a penalty coming up. It'll be on Detroit. They got the extra skater out. Moore gets the defenseman down. Moore gets 2 down. Drops it off behind the net. And the Red Wings cannot control. Extra skater, there it is, was out. And the penalty called a power play when we come back on the hooking call by Dave Jackson. Referee tonight, Red Wings leading 1-0. San Jose will have the advantage.
Steve Chason defending against Hubie McDonough as the Sharks rush. You'll see McDonough pass off, drive to the net. There's the stick. A little help from McDonough. I don't think that's worthy of a diving penalty, but I don't think the tug was quite that hard for Chason. He eliminated a scoring chance there, and we'll see what the Sharks can do with a man advantage.
They have not been able to do a whole lot with it this season. 22nd in the National Hockey League in the power play. Detroit's had a good, decent penalty killing unit over the years, and the Detroit Red Wings are ranked 12th this season in penalty killing. Taken in behind the net by Wilson on the power play for the San Jose Sharks. Kelly Kissio has 6 power play goals and leads the team. Now, that is not a lot of power play goals. Wilson knocked away Fedorov. Short-handed. Fedorov off the shot. Check the banana on that stick.
Field goal.
Oh my gosh, not even close. Kelly Kissio. Fedorov's going to go back to the bench and break the stick over both knees. Or maybe just with his hands. He got that one off the end. And it wasn't even close. Wilson sends it into the middle. Intercepted and sent out.
Kelly Kissio does it all for the Sharks. He kills penalties. He's an excellent face-off man. He centers their power play. He's the veteran on the team. And he had a hard time getting to the National Hockey League because they thought then he was too small.
Ray Whitney brought it in and sent right back out. Not able to get the setup.
It was Detroit's Danny Belisle that brought Kissio here. Belisle coached him in Dallas. He was the assistant coach in Detroit. Kissio had 4 50-plus goal seasons as a junior and was never drafted. He came as an overage, went on to be the captain of the Rangers. Tremendous career. And the rest is history. He's very highly regarded, not only by his teammates, but by all his opponents in the National Hockey League.
11th year in the National Hockey League now. Save made by Cheveldae again. He has made some good saves in this game. Tom Peterson put the puck in from the point that time. In the corner, Eiserman going after it. Konstantinov there with him. Eiserman, Konstantinov. And Sean Burr finally got it. And Burr sends it out. 11 seconds left on this power play. Both teams changing up for the second time. Doug Molik goes back to get it. Out of the University of Minnesota, 22 years old. He's from Minnesota. They're very high on yet another rookie on this team. Brought up by Wilkinson. Power plays over. Wilkinson got nailed against the boards. The far side, Racine got a piece of it. Even strength. Wilkinson sent it into the corner. Red Wings now regrouping as they get their people back out on the ice. Kissio rolled it in on net. Really rolled off the end of his stick. Chason clears it out and ends up going on goal. Pushed to the side by Jeff Hackett. Shots are now 9-5 in favor of the Red Wings. 4:35 left in this first period. Ray Shepard has the goal for Detroit, an even strength goal. Nicholas Lidstrom sends it back. Red Wings had the line they wanted out there now. Dumped into the far side corner. Bob Probert heads to the net. Probert tried to tip, couldn't. Probert is charging to the net. Got to clear the zone. Chason sent it back in. Jason Moore will play it. Moore, 23 years old. 52 NHL games over a 4-year period prior to this year. And now getting the opportunity to play a lot this season. Red Wings, Probert again. Couldn't get it in front. The shot deflected wide. Red Wings are wide open in front. A lot of room. Mike Sillinger that time was standing. Same place Cicerelli was earlier. High slot. Sharks have left it wide open. Chason able to hold it in into the corner. Probert has more on him. Picked up by Sheldon Kennedy. Kennedy looking to the middle again. Sillinger had a poke checked away to center. Sillinger went right back to that spot where he had the last shot. Sillinger spun around. Probert moved in. Poke checked away to Konstantinov. And the Red Wings want to change it up. And an offside as well. Red Wings leading San Jose 1-0. 3:24 to go in the first.
Why would anyone stay in a place where the night lasts for 6 months?
ESPN's National Hockey Night will be heading out to the West Coast next Saturday night. as the New York Rangers, who Mark Messier will take on the Los Angeles Kings. Wayne Gretzky, of course, is back on the ice. Former teammates during the great Stanley Cup years in Edmonton meet in our matchup. 8 Eastern rather, and 5 Pacific. Next Saturday night, Rangers and Kings. Both those teams, after great starts, have had their problems of late. Steve Yzerman out to take the face-off. Yzerman has not logged a lot of time here. Just a little over 5 minutes so far in the first. That's a little light for Yzerman in ice time. He's one of those who just piles up the minutes as the season goes along. He won the draw. Sent back into the corner, centering past Gallant. He was ready to celebrate, but no dice. Jeff Hackett, as Gallant was going for his 200th National Hockey League goal, he thought he had it, had the stick halfway up.
Left wide open again in front of the net on a nice feed from Yzerman. The puck comes in from the point. Yzerman controls here. There's Gallant. And where are the San Jose Sharks? Kissio's got to come back. That's not Kissio's man. That's the defenseman's man. And they are just not staying with their checks in front of net. There's a hockey term, back checking, or in your own end. Your head has to be in a swivel. That means you have to constantly be looking around and reevaluating the situation. The Sharks are standing, staring at the puck, not looking and not moving.
That's why all that white space is existing out there. Open ice and scoring areas. Dino Ciccarelli centered. Penalty coming up on the Sharks as Steve Yzerman got dumped by Rob Zettler. Zettler took him down as Yzerman was coming in to receive that pass for the tip. And so the Detroit Red Wings are going to get the power play.
Zettler has been one of the more physical Sharks. He likes to play a hitting game. We mentioned that early. He skates pretty well. He moves the puck. This is one of the fellas they're looking to build their future on. They have the nucleus of a young defense, but a young defense, if it's going to do anything good for the organization, has to improve with every game.
There have been some problems doing that.
This is the penalty coming up. We see Ciccarelli, a nice pass. Zettler's there. That's okay. You take the man out there. That's not a bad play. Better to take him down to the ice and just hang on to a stick anyway. If you're going to get a penalty, let it be a bit of a physical penalty.
There you see the Detroit power play, 4th best in the National Hockey League. And the San Jose Sharks penalty killing wise, 24. Ow. Zettler goes out. We've only had 2 penalties in this period. Zettler going at 17:25 on the hook. An update on Mario Lemieux and the press conference he held today during our intermission. The guys will bring you up to date on that, as we'll send you back to Tom Mees, Bill Clement, and El Morigatti. On the power play, Yzerman is out.
Well, Gary, I think I can speak for the both of us in wishing our absolute best to Mario, his family, and everyone. And I just hope this thing gets over quickly and completely. And never mind the game, but just today, everything works out well for his health. And he lives long and prosperous, as Mr. Spock would say.
Yeah, absolutely. He had that positive tone today, as you would expect from Mario Lemieux. Short-handed effort in front, deflected. Rebound comes wide. Shot in and a save made that time off Shovelday's stick off David Maley. Maley had the scoring opportunity as he turned around short-handed. Minute 9 left on this power play for Detroit. The fans a little oohing and eyeing and booing even, and that has not been unusual this season. It's very unusual for that to happen here in Detroit. For their fans to boo at all, but they have, and one of the reasons is the Red Wings have not played as well at home this year as they have in past seasons. Power play underway, 50 seconds left on it, a minute 20 left to go in the period. Fedorov brings it in. Fedorov had it blocked into the corner. Good play by Zmolik. They got the power play goal. Oh, you can't draw a break when you're losing games.
Good teams find ways to win, and bad teams find ways to lose. Situation there of being in the right place, Gary, at the wrong time.
Fedorov will get credit for his 21st. George Kingston's going to be saying, what are we going to do? 2-0 Detroit.
Here's Fedorov on Smolik. Smolik has good positioning here. Fedorov has to go wide. He does a good job. He loses the puck. He's going to try to throw it out front. Smolik is coming back to check him, and it goes in, I believe, off his skate and right off of Hackett's pad into the net. A tough break for the San Jose Sharks.
Skate, stick, post, and in, and never touch the opponent through all of that. It is a power play goal. 21 overall for Fedorov in his 10th power play goal. And it is a 2-0 lead for the Detroit Red Wings, and that's really a back-breaking goal. Kissio drops it off to Garpenlov. Garpenlov moving in. Garpenlov makes a shot. Score! Great setup by Garpenlov, and Bob Goodrow, the rookie, has picked up another goal, and that puts the Sharks back in the game. They needed that and got it.
What a heads-up play by Garpenlov. He's going to take a shot here. The Red Wings go down. Out of the corner of his eye, he sees Goodrow going. That was Chason going down. Shovelday came way out. What a good fake in the shot. He pulled all the Red Wings out of position with this one. Shovelday's out. Down goes Chason. And an empty netter for Goodrow. Kissio started the play, bringing it over the line. That is the Sharks' big line. If they're going to win this game or even be competitive, that line has to score and score often for them.
And what have the Sharks found here in this 22-year-old out of Providence College? Because for Goodrow, that's 15 goals in 21 games and 21 points. And it is a 2-1 game. Could have been an icing call and will be. Nice play. Good thinking that time by Jeff Hackett. He was tempted to touch that puck, and that would have waved off the icing. Now the faceoff comes the other way.
Well, there's the difference. When you had Drake coming in, Hackett gave him a little elbow. It was Probert. He just thought I might stand in your way gently and hope that you won't run me over. But it was a heads-up play by Hackett, and another offensive zone faceoff for the Sharks. Speaking of Goodrow, he won the Upper Deck NHL Player of the Month for the month of December. And here's that spectacular pass. What a heads-up play by Garpenlov to Goodrow. And that's the first National League award that any Shark has won. So let's hope it's the first of many for the San Jose Sharks.
Well, he passed up a chance to turn pro, wanted to finish his years at Providence College, and maybe it's paid off for him in maturity. Garpenlov and Kissio get the assists on it at 19:10 after Fedorov had scored at 18:42 from Chason and Gallant on the power play. Shepard had the other goal earlier at 2:25. Detroit leading here 2-1 down to the final 16 seconds of this period. Bob Probert picks it up. Probert dropped it in the corner. Racine going after it. Wilson will pick it up first. Sharks would just like to get out of here right now with this 2-1 game. Sullivan able to clear it up along the boards. They get it out to center ice, brought up by Dean Evison, and they got an important goal that puts them back into this game.
Oh, an important goal, last minute of the game. You go into the dressing room, you're on the road against a good team, you're only down 1, and you know you can score.
All right, we're in Detroit. Red Wings lead at 2-1. Let's go back to Tom.
All right, Gary and Jim, thanks a lot. We'll see if that goal in the last minute of play in the first period will spark the San Jose Sharks to bigger and better things. In the second period, Red Wings lead it by a score of 2-1. But, of course, the news around the National Hockey League this week dominated by the news surrounding Mario Lemieux. Tuesday, he was diagnosed with Hodgkin's disease. Mario Lemieux met the news media this morning in Pittsburgh. We'll hear a lot of comments from number 66 when we return.
National Hockey Night is presented by the New Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation.
Welcome back to our National Hockey Night studios, everyone. You know, just after New Year's Day, Pittsburgh Penguins superstar Mario Lemieux was diagnosed with Hodgkin's disease. January 6th, the affected lymph node was removed from his neck. Still to come for Mario, 4 weeks of radiation treatments commencing in about 2 weeks. And all of a sudden, hockey isn't a very important part of Mario Lemieux's life. This morning in Pittsburgh, Mario Lemieux faced the media and told the story in his own words.
The lump has been there for maybe a year and a half, something like that. And it was real small at the beginning, and just really noticed the lump about 6 months ago starting to grow on me. And when I went out with my back a couple of weeks ago, saw Dr. Jones and Dr. Burke, and decided to take a closer look at it. And that's when we made the decision to remove it and see what it was. Every time you hear the word cancer, it's a scary thing. And, you know, I went back home after I saw Dr. Burke and Dr. Jones, and gave me the news. And, you know, on the way down to my house, could hardly drive because of the tears and crying the whole day. And that was certainly a tough day in my life. But, you know, like I said, I talked to the doctors that same night. I had a lot of friends calling. A lot of friends' doctor called me too and reassured me that you know, the cure rate is extremely high. I had a chance a couple of years ago with the back infection to change some of my perspective on life, and this disease certainly reassured me of that. The most important thing in life is your health, and everything after that is secondary. You know, sometimes in life you have to go through some tough periods, and certainly I haven't been too fortunate the last few years with my back surgery and my back infection and reoccurrence of back problems. Broke my hand in the playoffs last year. All those things together, but you know, it's a tough sport, and sometimes you have to go through some injuries and climb the mountain, and that's certainly another mountain that I have to climb. I've had a great relationship since I came back in '84 with the fans here, and that's certainly going to continue in the future. They've been very supportive of it in the last couple of days, from what I saw on TV and the reports that were done on TV, and I just want him to know that I'll be fine and should be back as soon as I can, and should be there for the playoffs and give it a good run.
Now, through the years, Bill Clement, Al Morganti, and yours truly have had the pleasure of getting to know Mario Lemieux as a hockey player and as a person. He is a champion, and champions, you know what they say, love challenges. Mario Lemieux has made a living of overcoming challenges. From all of us, Mario, Godspeed to you. Get your rehabilitation underway, get well, and I have a hunch we'll see you back on the ice sooner than many people will expect. The Penguin family and the Great One react to Mario Lemieux's situation. Bill and Al and I will discuss it as well. The National Hockey Night continues. Hughes turned at the microphone at the Pittsburgh Penguin press conference this morning. Some members of the Pittsburgh Penguin family had a chance to comment on Mario Lemieux's situation, and a couple of days ago we also got comments from Mr. Wayne Gretzky. First of all, though, let's lead off with a member of the Penguins family, Howard Baldwin. Here's what he had to say.
I didn't know Mario personally until we acquired the Penguins. Since then, we have become very good friends. He never ceases to amaze me on and off the ice, and I've been in this business for 25 years. I hate to admit it, but I have, and have never met anyone like him. In his own quiet way, he is a true champion. The qualities of courage, the desires to win, the desire to lead are just some of Mario's character traits. These traits are going to enable him to challenge and conquer this setback and have a full recovery.
I'm sure he's getting the best medical attention that he can possibly have, and we just can't afford to lose people of his caliber.
It's an annoyance going through radiation for him, and it's going to make him tired, but who cares about hockey at this point? He's worried about his health and Mario Lemieux as a person.
Gentlemen, I'm sure we all agree the most important factor of all this is Mario Lemieux's personal health, but it is reality. The game of hockey does go on, and Bill, where do the Penguins go from here?
Well, they're used to having him out of the lineup. The first thing you have to realize is that you do not replace Mario Lemieux in the lineup. You try to hold the ship together until he gets back. It was interesting this morning. I was listening to a Hartford radio station, and a DJ obviously didn't follow hockey because he was saying, where did Ron Francis go? Whatever happened to Ron Francis? The hockey world and the Pittsburgh Penguins organization know where Ron Francis is. He will move into the #1 spot, probably between Tocchet and Kevin Stevens. And I think the Penguins need to generate offense on some other lines. They've got Dave Tippett and Mike Stapleton as centers, but you might see Sean McEachern or somebody like Joey Mullen, who I think can play any position, move into another center spot just to generate some offense. But Ronnie Francis is the right guy to have there.
And more than just the positions, more than just who's going to play center, who's going to play wing, they've got winners on that club. They've bonded together before. They had the Bob Johnson tragedy. They had Tom Barrasso's daughter, which they all lived through, who overcame an illness. And so they have champions. They have guys that have been through a lot together. They've won things together. And I think that the leaders will come to the fore, the Tocchets, the Kevin Stevens. I don't think there's a problem there. And they know they're just holding it together till Mario gets back, and then they make another run.
Well, if any team, I think we're all agreed, if any team can survive a hit losing a player like Mario Lemieux, it's the two-time defending Stanley Cup champion Pittsburgh Penguins. Lemieux's been out of the lineup several times before. Let's take a look now at the Penguins' record without Lemieux. There you see it, the last 2.5 seasons. And as a team, well, they're playing just about 500 hockey. I mean, sometimes they play with a winning record even without Lemieux in the lineup. So they are accustomed to not having Mario Lemieux in the lineup, and they will adjust. I know they were beaten badly in Boston last night, but they will adjust. We'll be back in a moment. 25 into the first period. Dallas Drake with a puck, looking to center it to Ray Shepherd. Gets the job done. Shepherd unchecked in front. Scores his 17th of the year. Fedorov also scored for Detroit. A late goal by Rob Gaudreau for San Jose. 2-1 after 1. next Saturday night, 8 nights from tonight. What a game we have. Mark Messier, Wayne Gretzky, the Rangers, the Kings, 8 Eastern time. Don't miss it.
Championship against Tyrell Biggs. Top Rank Boxing, Sunday night, live on ESPN.
National Hockey Night is brought to you by the New Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation, and by Visa, honored at over 6 million more places than American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Back here at the Joe Louis Arena, Gary Thorne, Jim Schoenfeld, they always put in 19,000 plus more than they have seats for. They sell standing room virtually every game here. And we're delighted to have you with us for ESPN's National Hockey Night. And Detroit up, but only by a score of 2-1, even though they dominated territorial play.
Ray Shepard puts the Wings on the board. The nice pass here from Drake. Instead of going behind the net, he cuts short. Shepard is left unmolested in front of the net. Fedorov goes to throw this out front. It goes off a San Jose defender's skate and into the San Jose net. It's 2-0 at that point, but a great play by Garpenlov. Sees Goodrow wide open. Empty netter. Last minute of the game. And it's a 2-1 hockey game. The Sharks have something to build on. They should come out. And Fedorov, we love Fedorov, cuz, and I missed the rest of it. Did you get that, Gary?
Because he's a Red Wing, that's why. Those are all Red Wing fans over there.
Well, he was saying yet when he shot that puck over the net, but he'll probably say yeah when he sees that sign.
Jim, imagine this line when the Russian national team played. They had Fedorov, McGillney, and Bure on the same line.
They would need a little more speed, that line, wouldn't they?
Can you imagine that?
That is pure rocket fuel, those three fellas.
That's unbelievable.
7 goals in his last 11 games, and it's because of his speed. He's a real good all-around hockey player, and he's going to get better and better because he's also a hard-working hockey player.
Fedorov's goal, Chason and Gallant had the assist. Shepard's goal, Drake and Carson, and Goodrow's goal, Garpenlov and Kissio for Goodrow. And we begin the second period. 2-1. Only 2 penalties in that first period. Red Wings 1 for 1 on the power play. San Jose went 0 for 1. 2 hooking calls. Chason and Zettler had them. Wilson from behind the net. Banged it around to the near side. Garpenlov pinned up. Shot back in by Cicerelli. Wilson knocked it down and cleared it out to center. Red Wings trying to get back on side. That allowed San Jose to intercept. Wilson shoots that the length of the ice.
Oh, man, that puck hit him right on the foot. We talked to Doug Wilson today. He was limping. He's coming back off a broken foot. He's been struggling in tonight's game, and I'm sure that really stung him. It may have hit him on the broken foot. He wasted no time at all in getting the puck down the ice and getting off. And I would think that Wilson is legitimate Hall of Famer. I mean, he's played 16 years. He's won the Norris Trophy, 823 points in 1,011 games, and what a classy guy. He does a tremendous amount of charity work in the San Jose area. He's built a home there. He wants to make that his permanent residence. His wife, his family, they love it there.
Got a broken bone in that foot, and you're right, it hit him, and he just iced it to get to the bench. Steve Chase on the shot. Jeff Hackett makes the save, kicked it away to the side. Goodrow was able to clear it out. San Jose Sharks. Goodrow down the middle, takes it right into the midsection. Got you in the kitchen that time, Tim Chevalier, and he hangs onto it to make the save. Just underway here in the second period in Detroit at our Miller Lite scoring summary. Shepard's 17th at 2:25. The assist going to Drake. They also added one for Carson. Then Fedorov got his at 18:42. Chason and Gallant. That was a power play goal. Fedorov's 21st. Goodrow at 19:10 from Garpenlov and Kissio, the even strength goal, getting San Jose on the board 2-1, the end of 1. And we are just into the first minute here of this second period. Late arriving crowd. They got a big auto show going on next door at Cobo Hall. Score! Tipped in on the point shot. Not sure who deflected that. Kelly Kissio may have gotten the stick on it. It looked like a harmless shot with not a lot on it. And the next thing you know, it's in the back of the net, and it's a 2-2 game.
Kissio wins the faceoff clean. Back to Moore at the point. Kissio goes right to the net. That's the centerman's responsibility. You have to tie up Kissio. Burr is there with him, but Kissio gets a stick on the puck. I believe it was he who tipped it past Tim Chevalier. And we're all knotted up at 2s, Garrett.
We'll wait for the call on who they give credit to on the goal. Moore did what you got to do in this game. You got to get it in on net. You dump it in, you never know. And this thing is tied at 2-2. And the Detroit fans oohing and eyeing a little bit after that one. And you saw Brian Murray not happy with it. He's been away from the last 2 games at the general managers meeting in California in the National Hockey League. Talking with him today, he said, I had to watch a couple of games on television. He said, watching the Detroit Red Wings play right now is a little scary. Wrapped around by Korabah, got knocked down in front of the net that time. Detroit Red Wing Paul Eisebard, who was trying to put it in. Racine gets it back, intercepted by Wilkinson. Wilkinson drops it off. In comes McDonough. McDonough out of the net, making the save with Cheveldae. McDonough tried to draw it around him as he had Cheveldae into the circle. Eisebard gains the line, wraps it in, deflected way back into the seats. And Kissio did get that even strength goal from Moore at 44 seconds.
That was a good read by Tim Cheveldae. He sees McDonough coming. McDonough loses possession a little bit here, but he can't go anywhere because the Red Wing defender's coming back. Cheveldae knows that he has no other option but to continue on the line he's going. He makes a good aggressive play. There's a good view from the overhead camera. That's an alert play by Cheveldae, reading the rush, seeing what his defender's doing on the way back, knowing the situation the forward's in, and then making an aggressive play to prevent him from getting a shot on net.
Kelly Kissio's 13th goal of the season, tying this game up. Detroit has won the 2 games they've played previously this year. The Sharks have never beaten Detroit, as they are 4-0-1 in the 2 seasons against them, and another icing call for the face-off coming to the other end. George Kingston is an ultra marathoner. He runs 50 to 100-mile marathons up mountains, over hill and dale.
For fun.
For fun. Yeah. He runs from hotels to rinks and back again. He is in magnificent shape. 16 years at the University of Calgary, where he was coach. He went overseas and coached the European Hockey League for a couple of seasons. He's a vice president and coach. In a most unusual situation the Sharks have. They have a triumvirate organization as far as leadership is concerned. He's one of the 3. Kicked into the zone. Red Wings. Kerman got it back out. Shot right back in from center by Tom Peterson. Cheveldae plays it up off the boards, and the Sharks clearly have picked the pace up. This couple of goals putting them back in the game as they've scored the last 2. Got them doing a little jump here. The pace of this game may pick up. Just lost it, trying to get out of the zone. Drake had it. Drake drops it back in behind the net that Carson couldn't control. Hitting also picking up here a little bit. Dean Evison had it taken away from him. Wide side corner. Drake lost it. Peterson puts it in on goal. They really just want to get a line change here. It'll be McCrimmon trying to catch him in it. On the boards. Detroit will do the same. They'll change it up. Took the hop off the boards and came right out towards center ice that time. Polak dumped it up into the middle. Bawa had it poke checked away from him. Wilson on defense out in front. Centering pass intercepted. Whitney, another rookie, got it away. David Maley, the veteran, dropped it back into the middle. Squeezed off the puck. Bawa played back into the zone by Sheldon Kennedy. And the Red Wings having trouble finding a little ice right now themselves. Good checking job being done, especially through center ice. Ray Whitney lost it. Kennedy again. Doug Wilson was all over him. Intercepted again. Nobody can get it from one side of the red line to the other. Red Wings will try. Still dropped it into the zone. Poke check, Probert. Probert lost it. Kicked away from him by David Maley. A couple to keep an eye on. Maley and Probert. A couple of heavyweights out there who are following one another around the ice on a matchup. And Yzerman deflected the pass right in on goal. Covered up by Hackett. Red Wings in San Jose tied at 2. South Carolina, Auburn's Wesley Pearson right there. That'll be followed by Kansas and Louisville. Number 4 rated Kansas, 7:30 Eastern and 4:30 Pacific. That's basketball tomorrow on ESPN. A 2-2 game with 15:57 left to go in this second period. Steve Yzerman on the faceoff. He won it. Gallant picks it up back to Yzerman. Kelly Kissio. Kissio batted it away against the boards. Rob Goodrow got it out of the center. Gallant was there to pick it up, though. Centering pass. Steve Yzerman had to tip it away. Moving in on the far side, Moore put the check on and played by Wilkinson deep in his own end. Both teams pretty tenacious forechecking job being done here. Eisenman and Cicerelli were both up that time for Detroit. Racine's pass intercepted by Kissio. Kelly Kissio brings it in. Goodrow cutting to the net, tried to dump it to him. Goodrow had gotten in there, but Kissio couldn't get it to him. Pass just banked off the side of the net by Kissio. Wilkinson picks it up, waits for his line mates to clear. Sends it in high off the glass. We've got some ricochets off this glass going every which way but through here tonight. Red Wings do not clear. Shot on Peterson, just missed. He can shoot. Quick score! The San Jose Sharks have taken a 3-2 lead on Brian Murray's Red Wings on a no-angle goal. Just turned around and shot at Uwe McDonough.
A bad giveaway by Detroit's Nicholas Lindstrom and a great read by Peterson at the point. Here's a cross-ice attempt here. There's Peterson trying to come up the middle. Peterson, a great read. That has to be 100% sure pass. And there's the puck off the boards. A bad angle goal against Chason. He wasn't expecting the shot. And the Sharks have taken the lead. There are a few things that will really pump a team up. One is scoring in the last minute of a period. Another is killing a 5-off-3. The Sharks scored the last minute of that first period, and they've really come out in the second period and inspired Hockey Club.
They really have, and now the Red Wings have got to try and get this momentum back. That's the first goal of the season for Uwe McDonough, who hasn't played a lot this season. It's only his 4th game. He's been playing at the minor league level for most of it, and the Sharks have taken a 3-2 lead. They've scored the last 3 goals. Goodrow was able to hold it in, tipped into the corner, and Burr just cleared it out of the zone. San Jose Sharks trying to clear. Red Wings touched it up. We're going to get an elbowing call coming up away from the play as Dave Jackson, the referee, blows the whistle on it. And it looks like it's going to be on who? Nobody's headed to the penalty box. Detroit's going to pick up the elbowing call, and San Jose is going to get a power play out of this.
Well, Uwe McDonough was leading the IHL in points with 64 when he was called up, so he's no stranger to scoring goals. And he gets a good goal here. Here's the giveaway. You see the look. He sees the Red Wings breaking up. That's Eisenman going up the middle. That's a play they like to use. But a great read by Peterson. Misses the net on the shot. These boards are alive. McDonough does a good job not only corralling that puck with one hand, making the quick spin, and getting a good quick shot away on shovel day.
Heck of a play made right there on that shot. And now the power play, second of the night for the San Jose Sharks, as Sean Burr picked up the elbowing call at 5:33. Wilson will work on the power play. Goals by Goodrow, Kissio, and McDonough, the last 3, all for the Sharks. They've got a chance to add to it. Kissio was charging, couldn't get it. Goodrow drops it off. Garpenlov. Garpenlov will play it in behind the net. They're looking to set up in front. Detroit backing off, giving the points the shot. Save made by Shovelday. Puck bouncing. Rebound deflected off the defenseman. Detroit's got it and will bring it around the net. Not out. And a whistle and a penalty. A hooking call or holding on the Sharks. They're going to lose. 1:22 left on their power play.
Talking of Kelly Kissio, Pat Quinn, the coach and general manager of the surging Vancouver Canucks, had this to say. I'm going to quote it here. He said, a lot of people say it's a bigger and bigger game these days, but a small man can play. He just needs a heart as big as Kelly Kissio's. That's a pretty good endorsement from Pat Quinn, who's a fine hockey man, for Kelly Kissio. This is a penalty coming up. You hate to see an offensive zone penalty, especially on the power play. Worst case scenario, that puck gets iced. You aren't in any trouble. You go back, you regroup, and you're still on the power play. Now it's a 4-on-4 situation, and at the end of the 4-on-4, the Wings will go on a power play.
And the former wing, Garpenlov, picks up the penalty in this 3-2 game with the San Jose Sharks on top. The other night, Tampa Bay was doing the same thing to Detroit. Tampa Bay built up a lead in the second period. Red Wings deflected. Comes all the way out to the near side. The Detroit Red Wings are coming off a 5-3 win against Tampa Bay on Wednesday, while the Sharks lost on Tuesday against Winnipeg by a score of 4-1. Drake brings it in, gets stripped of the puck. Play by Jason Moore that time, who took it away. Right wing side, Mike Sullivan. Sullivan tied up by McCrimmon. McCrimmon, Moore. McCrimmon's got the puck. Still skating in a 4-on-4 for another 40 seconds. And then the Red Wings will have a short power play. Steve Yzerman looking for room. Yzerman tries it back. Yzerman in. Shot save made by Hackett. Drake follows Yzerman in and got the shot on goal. Hackett, the big save. Whitney brings it up. Whitney centering pass, and that one hit Cheveldae. It went through a screen, and Cheveldae did not see it. It hit him and deflected into the corner as Whitney set it up. Whitney gets hauled down, and another penalty coming up. And it's going to be on the Detroit Red Wings, Steve Chason. Chason got the stick in the blades with 14 seconds left on the Red Wings penalty and 52 on the Sharks. Chason will go to the box.
Good saves at both ends of the ice. Both goaltenders being called on to make good alert saves. This is the penalty coming up. Right there, a little lazy. There's no need for penalties like that. You mentioned Drake following Yzerman. That's a smart thing to do. You follow Steve Yzerman, you're going to come up with a lot of rebound chances unless he puts it in the net first. Splits the defense. He goes in. He was just off balance, or he would have got the shot away himself. Drake got a quick snapshot away, and Hackett stood his ground. He didn't panic. He didn't drop. He just stood his ground, made a good save to keep the Sharks ahead.
Hackett's played a strong game here as the shots now almost even, 15-14 in favor of Detroit. Chason goes for hooking at 7:18 and will skate now with a 4-on-3 power play for the San Jose Sharks for 14 seconds with the clock running on it. Left for Wilson. 4 seconds left on the Sharks' advantage. Red Wilson drops it off. Obviously that foot not bothering him enough so they can stay off the play. Now we're back to 4-on-4. Kelly Kissio. Sean Burr is back out on the ice for the Red Wings. The next penalty to end will be San Jose's in 27 seconds, and they'll go back on yet another power play. Brought up by Wilson. Wilson dropped it off for Kissio. Sharks trying to control here. Fedorov takes it away. Fedorov drops it off. 4-on-4 situation. Sent deeper into the zone that time by Lidstrom. You see Nicholas Lidstrom tonight has not touched the puck a lot. The guy who had the great season last year offensively just doesn't seem to be in the flow. Wilson runs it up. But Wilson shutting it off. Power play underway again for the San Jose Sharks, who are leading 3-2. Centering pass. Intercepted and cleared out of the zone by Shepard. 56 seconds left on this power play. Sharks with another opportunity to increase that lead here to 2 goals. Pollock brings it up. Get it away to Moore. Jason Moore. Look at that hop right in front. Shot wide of the net. We talked about the hops coming off the boards here. Garpenlove got another chance on that one. Garpenlove set back in. David Maley got it to him. Maley goes to the front. Garpenlove trying to go to the point, but Steve Yzerman was there. Short-handed the other way. And Detroit decides not to chance it. They just dump it into the corner. Still 22 seconds remaining on this power play chance for the Sharks. It was tipped up ice by Whitney. Played by Tim Cheveldae. David Maley moved in to tie it up to the Sharks near side to McCrimmon. 10 seconds left on the power play, and Detroit gets the clear. And that will do it. So all those precious seconds Sharks had the opportunity on. Can't convert it. Back on the ice comes Chason. Even strength. Peterson shot. Flipped into the corner. He can shoot. Corriveau. Evan Corriveau got tied up. Puck comes to the point. Zettler gets knocked down. Zettler doing battle with Chason along the boards, and they stay at it after the puck had gone down low. Chason finally able to clear it out. Comes back to Zettler. Hitting, picking up. Chason trying to find Zettler now as he went after him. Chason and Zettler still holding one another at center ice. Pope checked away. Probert went after it, couldn't get it. Jeff Odgers couldn't clear it out. Odgers knocked it back along the boards, but the Sharks give it up in the offensive zone for the Detroit Red Wings. Diving for it and just pushing it out of the zone. Odgers, who was down on the ice, just reached back with the glove in order to get it out of the play. And the Red Wings will chase it down their own blue line. 9:56 left here in the second. 3-2. The Sharks on top. And the Red Wings trying to pick this play up. Near side Sheldon Kennedy. Kennedy's centering pass blocked right back to him. Tipped up in the air and behind the net. Everson's got it. Ian Everson just left it off to Corriveau. Corriveau will play for the Washington Capitals. Sends it in.
It's a double-edged sword for Brian Murray. He's the coach. As coach, if the players aren't playing, it's your fault. But he's also the GM. And if the players that he have aren't good enough, he's got to go out and get some other players. So when the players don't play well, he really can't say, well, they're just not good enough, because he's the guy.
Save wide of the net by Probert. Hackett made the initial save, and then Probert, the rebound shot up and over.
He's the guy that's responsible for making the necessary improvements.
And that will end up in the seats. We're back at even strength. San Jose 3 and the Red Wings 2.
On Jason Moore, you see him lift his stick away there. He stops the puck with his skate. That's not easy to do, folks, and he gets 2 whacks away, and Hackett has to come up with a save. That's good stick work by Probert. He's a big, strong guy, but he has a decent nose for the net, and he can score some goals. He's had about 3 or 4 good chances tonight, Garrett.
And Probert's got the immigration problem taken care of, so now he can play games in Canada, which he had not been able to do last season and the first part of this year. Now he's able to go back and forth, and hopefully problems that he has had, he'll be able to overcome those and play some hockey. Kelly Kissio. Kissio sends it in. Tipped away Chevelday. Rebound knocked wide. Goodrow just seems to be around that puck and where you get scoring chances. He was right in front of the net again that time. 16-15 the shots in favor of Detroit, but San Jose has got the 3-2 lead. You take a look at one thing this San Jose team has done this year. In 1-goal games, they are 3-12. That tells you something about the fact they are in games but don't have enough to get over the hump.
Well, their coach, he thinks that they have better third periods than their first or their second, and I looked up the statistics. He's right. They've only had 20 more goals scored against them in the third than they've scored, so that sounds ridiculous to say that that's a good period. But for a struggling franchise, that's not a bad statistic.
Not bad at all. Averaging 2.82 goals a game and giving up 4.86 overall.
That could also be a factor that when teams have a lead, they let up a little bit. So you can read into or out of whatever you want from that statistic, but he knows the team well, and he legitimately thinks they're a stronger third period team than first or second period.
Just their second season, of course, in the National Hockey League, playing at the Cow Palace outside of San Francisco. They'll have a new home next year in San Jose. Brought in by Dino Ciccarelli. Ciccarelli shot. Save made again by Hackett. Hackett is playing a strong positional game. Turned up ice by Zomlak. Zomlak, Kissio. Kissio. Spun around by Chason. Chason takes him to the boards. Behind the net. Again. Goodrow standing right there behind the net. Trying to shove it out in front. Goodrow in the corner. Goodrow trying to hang on to the stick, I think, that time. He couldn't do it of Konstantinov, who just ripped it away. Gallant's got it on the far side. Gallant, Ciccarelli, and Eiserman out. Chason brings it in. Chason to Dino Ciccarelli. His shot blocked. And out of the zone, Zettler. Zettler blocked it. Had to regroup a little bit on that as he felt it, so he just pushed it out of the zone, get it out of the way. Tom Peterson, University of Minnesota player. Rookie season. Cleared it out. Red Wings, Markow right back in. Red Wings down by a goal, and their fans, you can just sense a little restlessness going on here at the Joe Louis Arena tonight. After the Red Wings had the first 2, they have given up the last 3. Pushed up along the boards by Atherell, not out of the zone. Again, Hackett makes the save. Shot in through the legs that time, but Hackett's been up to the challenge, and San Jose still got the lead.
Jeff Hackett, in his 12th straight start, stops a good shot here by Dino Ciccarelli, using Wilson as a screen. He's doing yeoman service for this this Shark team. And just following that, he stopped a good tip right in front, Dallas Drake, on a point shot. He's played an awful lot of their hockey and played it extremely well in spite of his goals against average. He gets a lot of rubber shot out of Gary.
Arthur's Urbe, the other goaltender who was injured, was the one they were really looking to play a lot of games for them as time goes on, with he and Hackett probably taking some work away from Brian Hayward, the third goaltender. Hayward is the backup goaltender tonight. 3-2 game. San Jose Sharks leading it here. Red Wings trying to generate the offense. Tipped in wide again. Penalty coming up. Delayed call. It's going to be on the Sharks. And it's going to be a holding the stick call, I believe, out in front of the net. And the fact the Sharks have gotten back into this has ruffled the feathers of the Detroit Red Wings. And we're seeing, I'm happy to say, a little more of the physical play taking place here in the second period than we saw in the first.
I'd like to check, have there been any penalties outside of hooking and holding and tripping? I don't think there's been a good body check tonight. There's another hold. Evason gets a hold right in the slot as the Red Wings are driving to the net. It has not, repeat, has not been at all a physical contest. And Gary, I think that happens, never mind the standings of the two teams, the fact that they meet so infrequently. You might see a team at the beginning of the season, October, once again in December, again in February, and maybe in March or April. It's tough to build up any rivalries.
Yeah. Non-division games really come to that. National Hockey League has really got to rethink this thing, and these road trips are ridiculous that these teams are playing. I mean, we're seeing teams that are going on the road, and there are just some games where nobody's getting their legs left. Chase and shot deflects into the corner. And here you got the San Jose team out of the road now, the 4th of 9 games the coast. I mentioned over 10,700 miles they'll log. That's absurd. Tipped into the corner. Wilson got hauled down trying to draw the penalty. Didn't get it. Neither did he get called for diving. Pushed up on the boards to Mike Sullivan, and it's cleared out of the zone by Sullivan. Minute 27 left on the power play. Holding the stick was a call on Everson at 13:07. Red Wings. Fedorov in, shot. Save made by Hackett. He got that one stick side rebound. Fedorov again tipping it in. Hackett again was able to knock it away. And he really is getting it done right now. Wilson unable to clear it out of the zone. Racine holds it in. They got Fedorov going to the front of the net with Dino Cicerelli. Racine and Chason. Chason waiting. Fedorov looking. Fedorov back. Defenseman Racine scores! Cicerelli may have gotten a piece of that. I'm not sure.
Get the puck to the net and good things can happen. Good passing by the Red Wings. Fedorov sees Racine. This is not a hard shot. Wilson is fighting Cicerelli for body position, and I'm not sure if it goes off of Wilson or Cicerelli. We'll wait for the call on that. But that's a good positioning for Dino Cicerelli. In front of the net, screening the goaltender. You need a defenseman there to move you. Creates more traffic, a bigger screen. Hackett, before that, made two spectacular pad saves, and probably the least difficult of the shots is the one that beats him. He still played very well in the net tonight.
Yves Racine, I believe, will be given credit for that, as it looked like it went off the end of the glove, but credit Cicerelli with the real good screen. Racine has tied the game up with a power play goal. You saw those numbers on the power play this season. That's 8 power play goals that the Red Wings have against the San Jose Sharks, so they have really taken advantage of it. Burr battling Kissio along the boards. 5:23 left to go here in the second period. Garpenlov could not handle that, taken away by Markow. Racine picking up his 5th goal of the season. Fedorov and Chason on the power play goal at 14:08. And the game is tied, and the 3 unanswered goals of the San Jose Sharks finally have an answer here in this second period. 21-15 the shots in favor of Detroit. Brad McCrimmon, the Beast, brings it back out. McCrimmon, who can play a physical game when he wants to. Sean Burr going for it, but the Red Wings were already offside.
Brian Murray has to be concerned about a couple of things. Number one is the divisional record of the Red Wings. They're 9-9-3. They're the second place team. They should have a better divisional record. And the other thing you should worry about is the schedule. 21 of the Wings' remaining 34 games will be played in the road. And when you're looking at finishing second or third and getting that home ice advantage, boy, all those games are important, especially coming down the stretch. This is a game the Red Wings should win. They can't let it slip away. If I'm Brian Murray, I'm going to make sure that the importance of this game is drilled into my players' heads before the game, during it, and between every period.
Konstantinov centered around the boards, more going back to get it. And Detroit's not been able to get all the points at home that they're used to. Last year they lost only 12 games at home while winning 24. They've already lost 11 at home this year. That's a little disconcerting. Centering pass hit Hackett. Backhand shot was blocked. Red Wings putting heat. Chase on. Shot saved by Hackett again. He loves to kick that puck away hard. Rebounds out the center. Nailed behind the play was David Maley. He got hit. Shot on an empty net. Almost. Whitney had an empty net, but he didn't have any angle to put the shot on. And Ray Whitney hit the side of the net with that shot. Wilson cleared it back to center. Red Wings picked the play up. Maley will send it in. Tim Chevalier again coming out to play it. Red Wings will control. 3:50 left to go. Steve Chason just dumps it into the corner. Probert charging in, tipped it wide. And a penalty coming up again on the Sharks. That's what charging to the net will do for you. Dino Cicerelli got hauled down from behind. And another power play for Detroit coming up. Future star for the Detroit Red Wings. Got his hockey jacket on right there and watching his team. And it's a 3-3 game. Detroit's going to have a power play here. Taking a look at our Budweiser scoreboard. Other games going on in the National Hockey League. Only a couple. Hartford will be playing at Edmonton. Both teams struggling for a playoff spot. And Buffalo and Vancouver.
David Maley gets a big hit here from Chason, but it's not a bad play. Maley sees 2 wings coming, He takes the hit to make the play, gets the puck out, and was almost a 2-on-1 for the San Jose Sharks.
2 for 3 in the power play. The Red Wings tonight. They've got a chance to take the lead back again with 3:30 left to go in this period. Racine will play the point. There's the shot, tipped wide of the net. They do get it set up in front. Chason could not hold it in the pass from Fedorov. Dino Cicerelli. Steve Yzerman will work at the front of the net, crisscrossing in front. Cicerelli kicks it into the zone. Molak was over to play it and able to clear it out. Tim Shovelday will come out, and the San Jose Sharks will change up in their penalty killing unit. Minute 20 left on the power play. Chason back in. Fedorov sends it around to Dino Cicerelli. Cicerelli this season has picked up 17 goals and leads the team with 33 assists coming into this game. He goes to the front of the net looking to tip or a screen, which he did last time. Yzerman just holding. Racine save with a glove and a great split taken by Jeff Hackett. Our Visa storyline here at the Joe Louis Arena tonight. Kelly Kissio has picked up a goal and an assist. Sergei Fedorov also a goal and an assist. And Detroit on the season 8 for 17 on the power play in 3 games against the San Jose Sharks, and they've got another chance right here. Shepard and Fedorov in the first period made it 2-0. Goodrow got a goal at 19:10, 2-1. Then Kelly Kissio and McDonough got a couple to put San Jose up, but Racine tied it.
Jeff Hackett doing a splendid job of goaltending here. The last 4 or 5 minutes have been all Red Wings. They did get one squeaker past him, but he's come up with some tremendous saves, Gary.
24 years old, had been with the New York Islanders, 6'1", 175-pounder. We were watching him do some warm-ups today, and he was taking those kind of splits out there on the ice. He has great agility. Played back in behind the net by Markow. 47 seconds left on the power play. All-time leading scorer among defensemen when you combine what he did in the World Hockey League and what he did in the National.
The World Hockey League? What league is that?
Jimmy doesn't recognize anything outside NHL. And it rolls to center. 28 seconds remaining on it. Howe's going to go back to get it. Detroit clearing the zone here. Intercepted and set up ice. Jason Moore had the intercept. Right back in, onside. Carson centering pass, lost. 15 seconds left on the power play. Sharks able to gain control. Mike Sullivan dumps it in. Willie McDonough hit to the bench after he had joined him on the rush. 4 seconds left on this Detroit power play. Cleared hard in by Lidstrom. Kicked behind the net. Dallas Drake. Penalty is over. They killed it off. And it remains a 3-3 game. Drake centering shot by Carson was blocked by Wilson. Rebound looking for Drake in front. Went right underneath his stick. Darfenlov brings it back out. We're even strength now with 1:24 to go. Darfenlov drops it to Wilson. Wilson centering pass. Deflects to the near side. And it'll be sent out by Shepard. One of the goals. Intercepted again by Jeff Rogers. Both teams change it up on the fly. 1:10 left here. 3-3 the score. A little more, I think, than Detroit thought they were going to get tonight from this team. Tom Peterson got it out through center. Burvo got right off the puck. Dean Evason going back. Batted up in the air by Chason to Gallant. Gallant, 3-on-3 coming the other way. Yzerman with Cicerelli. Yzerman the shot. Deflected wide. He got held up from behind as Peterson reached in. He dove and got a piece of his stick. And Steve Yzerman was trying to wind up and take that shot. Goes wide to Tim Shovelday. Corriveau tried to bank it off the front. Couldn't do it. Konstantinov was there. Yzerman's got it again. 36 to go in the period. 2-on-2 Gallant. Gallant over to Cicerelli. Cicerelli back to Gallant. Save by Hackett. A tremendous save by Jeff Hackett that preserves the 3-3 tie. He has done that a number of times, but none any better than that.
What a great play by Cicerelli. He looks to Yzerman, he looks to Gallant, back to Yzerman, and then he makes the pass to Gallant. An excellent pass and a tremendous save.
Still a chance here. Time remaining at 10 seconds. Oh, look up ice. Corriveau gently will feather that one in. The Sharks will be happy to take a 3-3 tie into the third period, and that's what they're going to do. Jeff Hackett, outstanding play in net. 21 saves on 24 Detroit shots.
Well, that's textbook 3-on-2. The Red Wings coming down. Cicerelli waiting, looking. There's Gallant. To the left of your screen, you couldn't see, but Yzerman was also open. It was a tough decision for the San Jose defenders. They didn't play it well enough, and Hackett had to come up with yet another big save.
Well, the San Jose Sharks may have only 6 wins on the season, but you wouldn't know that with the show we're getting. 3-3, Tom Mees.
No, you wouldn't know that at all, Gary. In fact, the Sharks are chumming for their 3rd road win of the season tonight. They won already at Tampa Bay. They won at Calgary in overtime. They're looking for number 3 tonight. I'm sure the crowd of 20,000 at Joe Louis Arena didn't expect it to be this tight after 2 periods. Stay with us as our National Hockey Night continues. Al Morganti's In the Corner feature, and Bill Clement will take a look at one of the quiet stars in the NHL, Mike Gartner of the New York Rangers. All that and plays of the week coming up. We're tied at 3 after 2. Times from Joe Louis Arena. Hope you're enjoying the action. And one piece of business surrounding the Pittsburgh Penguins, not involving Mario Lemieux. Yesterday, Tom Barrasso, the Penguins goalie, diagnosed with the chickenpox, was sent home from a game and was, for all intents and purposes, quarantined. Today, re-examined, no chickenpox. Barrasso could be in net when the Penguins return home tomorrow night at the Civic Arena. That brings us to Al Morganti's In the Corner feature. And Al, a lot of people would say not much of anything goes on in the state of New Jersey, but big news because the Devils have some help at center.
Yes, the Devils get Bernie Nichols from Edmonton. We've been looking at Edmonton to make a trade all year. They make one move. Jersey gets help at center. And that usually means another move doesn't get made. So that may mean another destination for this guy. The Boston Bruins rushing forward, Dmitry Kortolnov. Supposedly, Jersey looking at him to go there. He's not going to Jersey, obviously. He does not play in Coach Brian Sutter's system. Now, talking to Sutter, some players are upset at him, and they're actually saying that they miss Coach Rick Bowness. Of course, this is being said with an anonymity, and you can't expect anybody with anonymity to get any kind of reaction from the general manager. So he's not going anywhere. He's got a big contract. In other news, on the expansion front, it looks like Miami, maybe for next year. They may back off a little bit. Anaheim looks like a sure thing. They're likely to name the team the Express. 2 leading candidates for GM, Bob McCammon, and former Sharks GM Jack Ferrara. Now, another big story this week, Eric Lindros of the Philadelphia Flyers out 3 weeks with a knee injury. It's been an interesting season for him, the big superstar this season, the expected rookie. He's been having some problems both on and off the ice, the thing in Toronto we know about. This past week, for example, he got in a little scuffle outside of a restaurant on Saturday night after a game. The Flyers are just trying to impress upon him that he's a superstar, he's being held to different standards, and they're having some meetings with him just to say, hey, look, we know you're 19 years old. Guys look at you differently. People look at you differently. And by the way, in that scuffle, the knee injury he suffered, he says had nothing to do with it. And he will have 3 weeks off, be going up to face that case in Toronto.
And one thing to keep in mind, Eric Lindros still is only a teenager, 19 years of age. Well, you will not want to miss our next National Hockey Night telecast. 8 days a week, 8 nights from now. Yes, from the Forum in Inglewood, Wayne Gretzky and the LA Kings will host Mark Messier and the New York Rangers. Note the starting time on both coasts, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time. For you folks who like to travel the freeways to get into the Forum, you better hit the roads a little bit earlier. Of course, the Rangers, along with Messier, have one of the real quiet stars in the NHL, Bill, and Mike Gartner. This is a guy who is 1 goal short of obtaining the 30-goal or more plateau for 14 years in a row.
I've been a big Mike Gartner fan for a lot of years. I mean, I even played 3 years against him. That's how long he has played. And to be able to score that many goals for that many seasons, you got to obviously be smart. You have to be able to shoot the puck. But above all, you got to have legs, baby. And at 33 years old, Mike Gartner can really skate. And he's really eaten up the Philadelphia Flyers this year. They don't want to see any more of him. We're going to show you some footage of Gartner's skating ability. Here he's trying to close ground on Brian Benning. Look at the distance. Doesn't take him long to get there. I want you to notice is how far apart his feet are. He's really low in his stance. He's got great leg drive. And he blows along the inside of the boards here and gets by one defenseman. But at this point, really, Dmitry Yushkevich, the rookie, has a good angle on him for a while. You know, you're not supposed to be able to go in this direction and then take a left turn 90 degrees. Mike Gartner can do that. And this is one of his patented plays. Around the net for a stuffer. I mean, he has scored on so many goalies that way. Again, in Philadelphia, Gartner on his off wing comes this way and then wants to get over onto his right wing. But as he's cutting through, watch his legs because he always has his legs at 90 degrees, his thigh to his calf. So if you look at this area right here, you're going to see part of the leg strength. He's always low in the crouch, low in the stance, great thrust. Now, at this angle, he's got no angle. He should be going this way into the boards. Crossover, crossover, crossover. At this point, he should be going here, into the end boards. But instead, he keeps crossing over and gets around Terry Kartner. Kartner hurts himself here. He actually stabs himself on his stick on the net. Mike Gartner gets around, scores again against the Flyers. The fourth thing you have to have to score this many is durability. Check this out. In 14 years, possible games available to Gardner, 1,085. He has played in 1,050 of them. So the guy's durable as well. You put it all into one package. Terrific athlete.
Just incredible. Don't go away. Our NHL Plays of the Week coming up as National Hockey Night continues. Scores in the NHL were in a funk with a lack of success. You've been taking your frustrations out on everyone, including the poor officials. You've been taking it out on each other. Hey, Rob Ramage, what's the deal here anyway? And for heaven's sake, you've even been taking out your frustrations on inanimate objects like the Zamboni. Got the worst of that one, didn't it? You guys have even tried to change the rules.
The Rangers are 2-on-1. Here's a good chance for New York to win it. And McLean makes a big save. No, they score. The puck. The red light came on.
Wait a minute. Maybe one of the Canuck players put it in. I think. Now, McLean makes the save. There's another puck. Somebody threw a puck out onto the ice. Can you believe this?
Only in New York. Well, maybe it's time to just give the goalies their due, like Darren Poopa making this blind game saver on Pierre Turgeon, like Mark Fitzpatrick sliding across the crease to rob Paul Randheim, like the Rangers' John Van Beesbrook, a breakaway stop in overtime off Pavel Bure, and on his back, the Flyers' Tommy Soderstrom using his blocker to rob the Rangers' Tony Amonte, and watch Winnipeg's Bob Essenson getting across the crease to get the pad up here on Yari Curry. And even when you guys have finally beaten the goalies, you're still snake-bitten.
Left wing of Stevens with some room against Luminanen. Coming down as a Trayvon Francis shoots it, goes through, and it's going to go in or not. No, right up the doorstep.
Forwards back to the neutral zone. Larmer got to it there. Dave Larmer tees up a long shot, deflecting off the crossbar. Casey never saw it.
But with continued plotting and hard work, finally a breakthrough. Watch the Jets' Timo Silani bust wide around the defense, setting up number 6, Phil Housley, in front. The Buffalo Sabres will work the puck beautifully here to set up Pat LaFontaine with a patented one-timer. Individually speaking, here's Steve Eisman of Detroit walking out from behind the net. Where's the defense? On their faces as Eisman goes top shelf for the goal. And a salute to the league's first 40-goal man, the Sabres' Alexander Mogilny. What a shot. But perhaps the best goals are the ones you don't even have to work for.
Il a été touché par Desjardins. Il y aura pénalité aux Canadiens. Mais là, le disque va glisser. Attention! Qui a tiré? Qui a tiré?
C'est un joueur des Whalers.
C'est un joueur des Whalers.
Effectivement.
Ah!
Sacre bleu. That's the kind of season it's been in Hartford.
Not that kick save. Give me the biscuit. Give me those skaters, not those skaters. Give me the real stuff. Yeah, him. Can you dent the twine? Good. Give me the siren. Give me the post. Zamboni. Give me that, and that. Not her. Yeah, him. Take that. Take him. Take that. Give me the box. If it's in the game, it's in the game. NHL PA and NHL Hockey for Super NES and Sega Genesis. EA Sports. It's in the game.
Side of the NHL, they've yet to start. Hartford at Edmonton and Buffalo at Vancouver, both later on in the National Hockey League. Back to Detroit in just a few moments.
National Hockey Night is brought to you by Smooth Bush Beer and easy drinking Bush Light, and by Volvo. Volvo would like you to drive safely.
Back here in Detroit, Gary Thorne, Jim Schoenfeld, 3-3 game as we go to the third period, and the story of this game right now is in net for the San Jose Sharks.
At the halfway point of the second period, the shots were 16 for Detroit, 15 for San Jose. It ended up 24 for Detroit and still only 15 for San Jose. Was all Red Wings and all Jeff Hackett, making one great save after another and using those great splits to make a sensational save here. This was the 3-on-2, a great play by Garant and Ciccarelli, but an exceptional save again by Hackett, and what a tremendous period he played for the San Jose Sharks.
24 years old and getting the job done here against Brian Murray's Detroit Red Wings, and the question goes on, why can't this club put away a team like this? And I don't take from the Sharks in saying that.
Well, you mentioned something earlier in the broadcast. As the game was going on, the Sharks took the lead and the Red Wings started to come on. You said, well, that's got their dander up and they're going to start playing. When you're at home at any time, but especially at home, you want your team to initiate aggressive play and great offensive play. The Red Wings have been a reactionary team. Reactionary teams usually are not teams that win consistently.
Let me go out and develop that juggler. That one's going to be called on the offside.
sometimes it's a situation, you look at players, if they push back. If they get hit, they'll hit back. But you want teams that go out and will purposely ruffle the feathers of their opposition. And they don't care if it takes a glove in the face or if it takes a big hit back. That's fine. But you have to go out and initiate good aggressive hockey, forechecking, hitting in the corners, winning the battles along the boards. And the Wings don't consistently do that.
The lad tipped it out. You saw part of the Shark attack. Wherever you go, you see San Jose materials. How about the job they did? They may not have won many games, but my gosh, 40% of all National Hockey League merchandise last year was San Jose merchandise. $140 million. Not accidentally either. Tipped away in front. Wilson goes back to get it. Wilson takes it away from Gallant. Not by Katz. Good in front. Down with the goaltender. Rebound shot tipped wide by Dino Ciccarelli. Jeff Hackett slipped and fell down while all that was going on, but he got back up in time to make the play. Kelly Kissio brings it in. Kissio shoots it in. Cheveldae will glove it down. Cheveldae plays it off on the boards to Dino Ciccarelli. We're just underway here in Detroit. Third period, the game tied at 3-3. San Jose trying to win for the first time against Detroit, as they are 4-0-1 in 2 seasons against them now. Chason trying to get it out, couldn't. It deflects back. Konstantinov's got it. Into the middle, Chason. He leads the rush. 5 shots on goal in this game. Steve Chason leads all shooters. Steve Yzerman tonight has had only 1 shot on goal. And according to the guys keeping the books on it, 3 scoring chances overall tonight. So they bottled him up pretty good. Jason Moore brings it in. Moore, the defenseman. Moore gets turned along the boards by Nicholas Lidstrom, and that forced the turnover. Burr brings it up. Sean Burr still has it. Wanted to center. Wilkinson gets a piece of it. He's seen able to hold it in. Turnaround shot tipped wide by Corriveau. Corriveau in front of the net. Peterson able to clear it out. Knocked down. Play by Lidstrom. Lidstrom will send it back into the zone. Eisenbach. Nice pass. Eisenbach to Fedorov. Fedorov centering pass. Hackett there. Had some trouble with it. Got it under the glove and hangs on.
The Sharks doing a better job with defensive zone coverage, and there's the famous shark fin you were talking about. What a great job they've done of marketing. It was in evidence, Gary, when we got our packets from Tim Bryant and Ken Arnold, who are in the publicity department from San Jose. They had a picture of the new proposed arena. They had articles on all the players. They had notes on everyone. We were so well prepared with San Jose Shark material. And guys, if you're watching, thank you very much. It certainly makes our job a lot easier. And that's a top-notch way to do things.
They went at marketing and found out women love the teal, men love the black, and teenagers love the silver gray. So all 3 of those colors are in their uniforms. They went out and did a marketing survey on what the best use of a shark would be. It was the biting the stick. And were they ever right on that one? Face-off one back to McCrimmon, rather. Dumps it off into the corner. 3-3 game. Parsons sends it back in behind the net. Red Wings trying to get the lead back here as they had it 2-0 at one point, fell behind 3-2, and were able to tie it up. They've got a couple of power play goals. Great hit on the near side by Dallas Drake. Drake put a shot on behind the play as he took Robin Bawa down. Red Wings in their own end, up on the boards. Again, Drake putting the hit on. Everson intercepted. Everson was cutting to the net. Defenseman stepped in and pushed it away, flipped out of the zone. Mark Howe broke the play up at the other end, though. Zettler trying to clear it out. Cannot. Red Wings chance. Shot. Save again by Hackett. Rebound shot. Batted up in the air. And Hackett's got it underneath him. Ray Shepherd has got 1 goal. Had 2 chances for his second. But Hackett again. Great goaltending.
That's just sensational, isn't it, Gary? This guy has really had himself a game tonight. Shepherd's coming in. Zettler coughs the puck up. He never really lifts his head up. He probably didn't have good control of that puck, and he goes for the backhand opportunity. Here's the chance along the board. Shepherd just gets that long stick on it before Zettler can get it out. He tries to go 5-hole, but Hackett will have none of that. And Zettler's saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You saved my bacon. I won't let him around me again.
Then Hell helped hold on to the puck for Jeff Hackett as it bounced up in the air. Face-off one back to Chason. Hackett again makes the save. He kicks the puck out very deep, doesn't he?
Very, very quick pads. Very quick pads, and he gets right down to the ice in a hurry, so the 5-hole is not open for very long when he's on his way down.
Brought back in, Sheldon Kennedy. Kennedy in the forehand. Couldn't get it there. Chason hit the crossbar. Rebound, score! Chason is having himself a game. 4-3 Detroit.
Well, it's just a matter of time. How long can Hackett make sensational save after sensational save? Good speed here by Kennedy. Driving to the net, Hackett hangs on to the post. He doesn't leave too soon. Sillinger's going to come in and get this puck back out, and 2 cracks at it. Chason hits the post there. He stays with the shot. It comes right down. He spins around. Hackett didn't see that puck till it was right at his feet, and the Wings have a 1-goal lead.
You see why Steve Chason is going to go to the All-Star game, along with Steve Yzerman. And the Red Wings are back on top 4-3 as Steve Chason, who has led the defenseman in scoring twice for Detroit, is doing it again. Played back in behind the net. Red Wings trying to add to it now. Let's see if that'll pump them up a little bit and get it going. Wilkinson puts the hit on. Backhand shot went right through the crease. Good turnaround, but not quite enough to get it in. Like Sillinger in the corner, pinned up by Garpenlov. Comes to the point. Knocked down by Lidstrom, but Lidstrom unable to hold it in, kicked it back into the zone, and that big pile-up. It's the Red Wings 4 and San Jose 3.
Sillinger racing to the loose puck behind the net, sees Chason coming in from the point, makes a nice pass. There's the shot that hits the post. Hackett can't see it. There's the shot right between your legs. Wilson did a good job coming back to eliminate Probert, but that defenseman jumping up into the rush. Too much for the Sharks to handle.
3:14, the time of Steve Chason's 10th of the year. Sillinger and Kennedy got the assist, even strength goal to give the Red Wings the 4-3 lead. Tim Shovelday looking for the win in net, plays that one behind his own net. Plenty of time left in this game, but the shots piling up now. 30-15, the shots on goal in favor of Detroit. And you see that doesn't help out right there, and a penalty coming up. This won't help either. Delayed call as Garpenlov touches it up. Kelly Kissio was coming in from behind and was forced to pull the Red Wing down. And this is going to give Detroit another power play, and they've taken advantage of them this season.
Since Detroit has turned their jets up and started to skate and forecheck, the Sharks just cannot handle their speed or their strength. The Red Wings come up with all the pucks along the loose boards from about the halfway point of the second period. They've come up with all the shots on goal. There's Kissio. I don't know if Yzerman was lunging to reach that puck or if he was actually tugged down, but nonetheless, Kissio will sit out for 2 minutes for hooking. But it's really evident, this Detroit Red Wing team, when they turn it up, when they want to play, they're a handful. Their problem is they don't consistently turn it up. They don't consistently want to play at their best level.
4:26, the time of the penalty to Kelly Kissio. And the Detroit Red Wings, who already have picked up a couple of power play goals, get a chance to get the 2-goal lead back they had in the first. Fedorov will work it along the boards. Back up to Chason, and he cannot hold it in. Steve Chason's got a goal and 2 assists in this game tonight for Detroit. You can tell how much the players like him. When he got that goal, every single one of them on the ice jumped as though it was their goal. It tells you a lot about what your teammates think here when they do that.
It really does, and it's an important thing for a team to have that kind of camaraderie.
Racine tried to dump it off in the corner, had it blocked by UB McDonough. Came back to him. Racine dumps it behind the net. Red Wings. Cicerelli looking to set up in front. Chason near side to Racine. Racine, Cicerelli the screen. Rebound is loose. Yzerman holding. Yzerman centering. Cicerelli knocked down. Played finally by Hackett around the net. Right there is Chason to hold it in. 1:07 left on the power play. Cicerelli screening in front. Cicerelli right through the legs. Right through the wickets on that one. Shovelday comes out deep. 55 left on the Detroit advantage. Cicerelli bangs it into Fedorov. Fedorov centering pass. He got whipped around the helmet, taking off as he got hit by David Maley. Fedorov without the helmet for Detroit right there, banging the puck away. Dean Evison on the far side. Tipped out of the zone by Jason Moore. And the Sharks just trying to run the time off here. 36 seconds left on it. They're going to have an offside created. Our National Hockey League night will move to Los Angeles next Saturday. Great matchup for you. 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific. The New York Rangers, Mark Messier and his former teammate Wayne Gretzky against one another as the Rangers take on the Kings next Saturday night right here on ESPN. Hope you'll join us. Jimmy and I will be there for that one.
Fedorov without a helmet because of this big hit by David Maley. Whoa. Caught him with his head down and gave him a good rock. From the overhead, here's David coming. Look out. Boy, that's shoulder to shoulder. He didn't hit his helmet. It was just the impact of the blow. It rocked his neck and his helmet flew off. When David Maley wants to hit you, he can hurt you.
David Maley picked up after the Edmonton Oilers had let him go this season. And the 29-year-old Maley put a little strength in this lineup just for that kind of play. Shovelday knocks it down. 28 seconds remaining in the San Jose penalty, so the Red Wings up by 1. Still a 5-on-4 power play here. Markow drops it back. Lidstrom brings it in. Lidstrom drops it off into the corner. Dallas Drake. Drake got pinned up and got it away to Carson. Howe back for Carson. Went by him. And out of the zone. Sharks come with only 5 seconds left to go. Short-handed San Jose. Dean Evison with it. Evison sends it in. Shovelday bats it away. Drake over to get it. Knocks it back, and the penalty's over. So Detroit unable to score on that power play chance. They remain up 4-3, back to even strength. Mark Howe down the middle. Howe trying to back it in. Not quite. Eli Kissio is there to intercept. Kissio dumps. Constantino from behind the net just banged it around. 13-10 left to go. Sharks have put on a good show here tonight against Detroit. And played even with them for the most part. Still no, couldn't quite do it. He has been everywhere tonight, though. All over the ice tonight. Very impressive performance for the young man. Probert. Shot. Save made by Hackett. Tipped back into the middle. Sheldon Kennedy. Second chance was deflected by Wilson. Kennedy the opportunity, and Hackett came up big again. Kissio cutting. Gets hauled down. Looks around. Trying to get a penalty. Is not going to. Red Wings trying to break 3-on-2. Near side is Probert. Kennedy drops it off back to Kennedy. Shot, save again, rebound. Probert! Save made again by Hackett. Two good saves again on a charging Red Wings team that's coming right down the middle and not being picked up. Woodrow at center, got tied up. Both teams are trying to get players out on the ice here. Peterson picks it up, comes to the red line. Shovelday makes the glove save. And Shovelday waiting for Racine to join him. Dropped it off as Mike Sullivan was moving in for the Sharks. Zettler tips it back into the corner. Gallant goes back to get it. Rod Gallant got it up. Shots are up to 33-16. Detroit keeping that 2-1 advantage in shots on goal. Jason Moore, Steve Yzerman moved in on him. Moore trying to turn it up. Yzerman freed the puck up. As he spun around, he went down. Montroval got it out through center. Couldn't hold it though. Gallant off the boards. Had to send it in behind the net. In front, Cicerelli tried to jam it in. Hackett just pushed it away. Moore's got it. Moore looking to center ice. Moore had Ubi McDonough cutting in. Montroval could not hold it in the zone as he tried to stop. And again, the teams will change it up on the fly. Neil Wilkinson back in his own end. Wilkinson around Hackett. Pinned in again. Steve Yzerman, good forechecking to Gallant. Gallant trying to get it back to Yzerman. Cicerelli runs into him. You can see why this line's going to do some damage before all said and done. Corvo brings it the other way. Corvo shot. Shovelday tipped it into the corner. Corvo nails. Dean Evison stood up as he went to the corner. Puck freed up. Hanging on. Zolnok spun around. Fedorov fell down. No call on him. He reached out and grabbed Fedorov that time. Fedorov starts it. Red Wings change it again. Fedorov crisscrossing as he moved in. Saved by Hackett again. Hackett ends up in the corner. There's no whistle. The net is empty. Detroit. Hackett hasn't got a stick. Penalty coming up delayed. Call. There's the touch-up, and there's the whistle. As Burr gets up off the ice. The Red Wings creating the penalties by their fast, aggressive style will get another power play.
Jeff Hackett doing everything in his power to give his San Jose Sharks a chance to come back and tie the score. Good stop there on Eisbart, but he has been peppered for this entire third period. And you see him making yet another save against the Wings. They're just coming in at will, passing the puck at will. A rebound save on Probert. Spectacular goaltending by Hackett.
Dean Evison goes out for holding at 9:40. And the power play 2 for 4 for the Red Wings, their 5th chance, and again a chance They get that lead up to 2. Carson's got it. Carson drops it back. Lidstrom, Nicholas Lidstrom, the shot deflected wide. Played in the corner. Sharks get it, and it's sent out by Zetler. They'll change it up. Triple Day helping out. Lidstrom up to Carson. Carson looking to the middle. Just a little too far in front for Ray Shepard. He's going for yet another one. He can go to the net. Lidstrom on the near side point. Carson at 14 on the power play. In front shot. Save again. Turnaround Howe. Howe had the opportunity, and Hackett denied him as Howe came in from the right point and was all alone in the low slot area. Carson. Minute left in the power play. Lined up. Lidstrom shot wide. Rebound. Carson. Score! Tipped in. And a 2-goal lead for the Red Wings.
Take a breather, Jeff. You've earned it. It isn't just 35 Detroit shots. There have been spectacular point-blank scoring opportunities, one after another, shooting at will. This is wide, but the boards are lively, comes right out. Carson makes no mistake into the long side of the net. Hackett just doesn't have time to react to this rebound off the boards, and it's tucked in right inside the post. They should call a timeout, Gary, just to give him a breather. The Sharks have had 2 shots since the midpoint of the second period.
And Hackett has done the rest. That has been the story of their season, these kinds of games. As we said earlier, the most shots given up in the National Hockey League have been given up for the San Jose Sharks. Hackett covering it up on the side. Carson getting the power play goal, has 22 goals on the season. 11 of them have been power play goals. Gives the Red Wings a 5-3 lead at 10:46 of the third period. Lidstrom and Shepard got the assists on the third power play goal of the game, and Detroit's up 5-3. On our Budweiser scoreboard, Edmonton now underway. They've got a 1-0 lead over Hartford. And Buffalo-Vancouver, the only other game to be played in the National Hockey League, will be a later start. So can the Sharks make another comeback here in the third period? Well, it's mighty tough when you're not getting any shots on goal.
George Kingston, evaluating his team, thinks they're another 3 years away from being competitive. 3 patient, long years. He says in that time will be some hills and dales, he said, rather than peaks and valleys. I would think tonight's game might look like the Grand Canyon to him.
I think he's seen so many of these, though, because this is what happens to them. Their defensive zone coverage. They spend too much time, he was saying tonight, too much time in the defensive zone and too many opportunities to the opposition. Wilson the other way. They run out of gas before they ever get up into their own offensive end to create anything. Steve Yzerman at center. Yzerman backs it to Gallant. Gallant sends it over to Dino Ciccarelli. Shot was deflected wide. Rebound, Yzerman went after it in the corner. Shot, save made by Hackett on Racine. Yzerman centers again. Gallant, backhander, save again. Hackett. And the puck just keeps on coming to Jeff Hackett. 5-3 Detroit, 7:54 left to go in the third period. Hackett moves out to get it. Swings it in behind the net. Probert was there. He and Zetler collided. Kelly Kissio, though, running it up the near, Peterson rather, running it up the near side, batted in the air with a high stick. And that will get the whistle. 7:39 left here in Detroit with the Red Wings leading San Jose by 2. 7 Pacific showtime for top seniors. They'll be expanding their wares in front of pro scouts in the Senior Bowl tomorrow right here on ESPN. You'll join us for that one. Here we've got 7:31 remaining to go in the third period. And the Sharks now have got to open it up even more here if they can to try and break somebody up ice. Get this thing back to a 1-goal game. Cleared out of the zone by Steve Chason. Red Wings get it right back. Wilkinson. Moves in, he's got it, he'll just chase it back in his own end. Konstantinov, 7 years with the Red Army team and working right here for the Detroit Red Wings now. Tipped into the zone off Jason Moore. Moore dumped Kennedy, won't get called on it though, and a break for the Sharks right there. Konstantinov from the red line in, rolls all the way around the dasher to the near side. Probert stepped up on Jason Moore. Paul Eisenbart, Fedorov, Eisenbart, and Probert on this line. Jason Moore again. 6:30 to go. Moore, blue line shot deflected into the glove off Howe's stick. Brad McCrimmon back to his defensive partner. Fedorov right into Wilson's jersey. And Detroit would play this kind of game with a 2-goal lead. Kelly Kissio dropped it off, shot deflected off Kissio, who got it. Centering pass intended for Wilson, deflects. 2-on-2 the other way. Broken up at center ice. Good defensive play. Goudreau just got back on that one and took it away. Kissio near side. Kissio looking in front of the net for some help. Sharks, point open. Save made, rebound. Loose in front, Fedorov. Got it out of there. Arm up, penalty coming. Holding call in front, and it's going to be on the Red Wings. So here's the chance that the Sharks wanted to get back in this game with 5:44 left to go. They're going to get a power play.
The Wings were dominating the period. This last 2 shifts, they started to go into a defensive protective mode. And this has virtually been the first activity in front of the Detroit goaltender all period. And it results in a penalty. If I'm Brian Murray, I'm telling my team, look, there were about 7 minutes left at that time. Stay aggressive. We're dominating this team in their own zone. Why go into defensive shell? You have a 2-goal lead, make it a 3, a 4-goal lead. This is where teams have to get hungry and try to add to their lead intelligently. And there are the shots that Hackett has faced. 38 shots may not sound like a lot, but they have been point blank, a lot of them point blank, terrific scoring chances.
Detroit averaging 32 a game, so they're going to up that one.
Here, I'd like to see the Red Wings stay aggressive, stay forechecking. They were dominating this period, and they went into a bit of a defensive mode, trying to protect the 2-goal lead. It happens to a lot of teams in this league, and it's very often costly. There's the muscle of the Detroit Red Wings, Bob Probert. And when he hits you, you're getting hit by a lot of hockey player. There he is, bumping in with Jason Moore. He just throws him against the boards. And if Probert could play, you know, he's the type of guy has to come to the arena to be effective and play like he just had a big fight with his wife every night. He has to be mean all the time. If you go near him, he's got to say, get out of my face. When he plays a miserable game, he's a very effective hockey player. He gets more room and more time to do things with the puck, and it makes him a more effective scorer.
He can score, despite all the media hype he gets, of course, for the fact he can't fight. He can also put the puck in the net. Here's the chance. The Red Wings are shorthanded. Power play for the San Jose Sharks, and the penalty, Fedorov out holding the stick at 14:60. San Jose has not been able to take advantage of the power play chances in this game. See if they can do it here and make it a 1-goal game. Wilkinson working one of the points. Just held that in along the line. Rolled to the corner where Chason found it and clears it out.
Yaroslav Otravel's father is here to visit him. He actually came to visit him at the farm team. They called him up. He doesn't speak English, but he's still seeing his first National Hockey League game live, and that's got to be a thrill for father and son.
Short-handed, Hackett had to knock it away as Dallas Drake. He had the puck too far in front of him, but Drake reached out and poked it up in the air. The Sharks on the power play for another minute 5, and they are offside. Otravel coming in offside that time. Boy, do you hate doing that when you got the advantage late in the game, anytime for that matter, but especially right now.
Offside in an an added armed situation where you have a 3-on-2 or a 4-on-3 is always a bad play. Well, Drake had a chance, almost a chance, to add to the Red Wing lead, but the puck is just too far. It eludes him. Hackett teased him. He could have got to that puck earlier. He just let him come in a little bit and poked it away at the last moment. Steve Yzerman's the starting center for the Campbell Conference All-Stars. It's the first time a Red Wing's been voted in as a starter since balloting began in 1986.
The draw at center, knocked down, Red Wings. Paul Eisenbart went back to get it. Eisenbart taking it back, dragging it here into his own end. Eisenbart then tries to turn it out. Bad play. Kissio in. Kissio! Oh, missed it! He had the empty net. He could not turn the forehand in. And Detroit gets a huge break on that. And the pass comes to center. Kelly Kissio had a chance. with a power play goal.
Well, mark that up for Lidstrom. He did a good job of whacking the shaft just as Kissio was going to slide that puck into the net.
At an empty net. 14 seconds left on the power play. Rob Gaudreau takes it in behind the net. They'll get one more rush here, but they're going to have to hurry to do it. 1 second left on the advantage. Sent in wide of Cheveldae. Penalty is over. And the Red Wings really dodge a bullet on that one. Wilkinson down low. Brad McCrimmon on him. They run into referee Jackson. Still has it. Wilkinson back to the point, but Cicerelli was just standing there. Put it right on his stick. Fedorov coming. 3-on-3. Fedorov moving in. Fedorov a shot at the side of the net. Fedorov wanted to center Steve Yzerman. Poke checked away from him, though, by Mike Sullivan. Sullivan starts it out for the Sharks. Moore bringing it up. Between the legs. Markow says none of that. They go to the corner. Moore battling for it. Kicked it away. Otrevel had nowhere to go with it. Sends it back to Sullivan. Tied up by McCrimmon. 3 minutes left to go in this third period. As the Red Wings have a 5-3 lead. Red Wings trying to take advantage of another one of the young teams in the National Hockey League. Had a victory over Tampa Bay in their last outing. May get one here. Yzerman in. Hackett. Score! Steve Yzerman.
Just one more for the highlight reel. What a sensational pass by Dino Cicerelli to spring Yzerman loose. He makes absolutely no mistake. Being pursued by a Shark defender, he freezes Hackett. You'll see here a little fake. He'll get his head up, look here. He'll freeze him right, boom, and then he moves. Hackett just can't spread out far enough. Sensational goal by Yzerman, but what a tremendous pass by Dino Cicerelli to set him free.
He certainly makes a difference, and the numbers show it, and so does his play on the ice. Steve Yzerman's 33rd goal of the season, his team leading 63rd point, and Yzerman has given the Red Wings a 6-3 lead, despite the effort of Hackett. Shot by David Maley on Cheveldae, misses wide, pushed up and over the glass, and with 2:30 left, the Red Wings on their way to picking up victory number 25 of the year. Just over 4 goals a game. They've got 6 in this one, have the lead. On our Budweiser scoreboard, 2 are the games in the National Hockey League, and only 3 games overall in the league. 2 minutes and 24 seconds remaining to go here in the third period. And the Red Wings will up their record to 25-19-3. They are 7th best overall. San Jose is going to go 637-2. 23rd in the National Hockey League as far as the record is concerned. Ottawa, the team below them, they have won only 4 games. Kennedy sent it into the zone. Ray Whitney going to get it out of there. Can't. Robert had it. Worked out on the far side by Smolik. Tim, it has got to be tough. When you play this hard, work this hard, you know your goaltender's done the job, more than the job, and you just can't get it.
Well, the goaltender's played a much better game than the rest of the Sharks collectively. They'll just let them down the last half of the game.
Break centering pass intended for Shepard. Backhanded in. Save made again on Carson.
I don't have to make excuses for Wilson because he's a tremendous hockey player. Here, he's skating very gingerly. I've watched him skate for years, and he's having a tough time out there tonight.
Broken bone in your foot. No wonder you're having a hard time out there.
Well, you talk about exciting entertainment, and you want to get it. You're going to get it from number 19. This, folks, is a goaltender's worst nightmare. Sensational. What a hockey player.
Steve Yzerman, 33 goals on the season as he picks that one up. The assist went to Cicerelli, 17-14. Cicerelli's 450th assist. And on our Bud scoreboard, see the late start and the need for the win. The Edmonton Oilers 9 points behind Winnipeg with that final playoff spot in Smythe, and Hackett again hanging on. Told you Yzerman started tonight among the leaders in goals scored and moved himself up. McGillney, Lemieux, Bure, Solani, Yzerman, and Stevens.
I was thinking to myself, Yzerman plays well every time we're here, but then again, he plays well every time anyway, so it doesn't really matter if we're here or not.
Even when we're not here, he's probably playing pretty well.
That's right.
Pushed along the boards by Garfinlov. Offside here, but won't matter unless Detroit plays it. They don't want to. They want to keep the clock going. Wilkinson unable to clear it out as Carson goes for the corner. 1 minute left to go here in this third period from Detroit, as the Red Wings are going to pick up another win here, and San Jose is going to continue trying to find one. 0-8-1 for the San Jose Sharks. Carson is in the middle, cutting, break, tied up, knocked down. Would have been a call if there'd been more time left, but there isn't. Brought up by Peterson. Peterson intended for Goodrow, played by Sullivan. Tim Shovelday knocked it away. Sullivan got his own rebound. Back to the point. Zetler's shot, save made, and a couple of nice saves made right there by Tim Shovelday. Shovelday, the new daddy, as we said, is going to get a victory here, and Tim Shovelday's record would go to 16, 17, and 2.
Well, Brian Murray has to be very pleased with the effort his Red Wings have put forth the last half of this hockey game. They looked like a good, aggressive, hungry team, and they were on the way again.
And Hackett gets to tip the final shot, and another disappointing night for the Sharks. But for Brian Murray's Red Wings, a 6-3 win with a 42-20 shot advantage.
Brian could have smiled. It was an impressive win, Brian. Your team played extremely well tonight. San Jose, it's going to be a long struggle. They keep rebuilding. They've gotten rid of a lot of veterans. They're looking at some youngsters, and it's a slow, gradual process. I certainly hope the league changes the drafting rule to 1 goaltender protected, 5 defensemen, 9 forwards, so the teams like San Jose, Ottawa, the new teams coming into the league, can go out and put a much better team on the ice.
Steve Yzerman leaving, and as we told you, I asked Brian Murray before the game. There are lots of rumors that Yzerman's available. He said, 2 GMs talked to me in the summer. I said, you give me Lemieux and I'll give you Yzerman. Otherwise, he is not available. The Red Wings win it by a score of 6-3. Gary Thorne with Jim Schoenfeld. Great to have you with us. We'll send you back to Tom.
All right, Gary, thanks a lot. You too, Jim Schoenfeld. Good job from Joe Louis Arena. With the win, the Red Wings now tie the Chicago Blackhawks in wins at 25. In points, they're 3 behind Chicago in the North Division. Red Wings and Philly Sunday night. San Jose gets more punishment. They're at Quebec tomorrow night, and then Monday they play Boston. In Boston, no. They got to go out to Saskatoon to play Boston on Monday night as their 9-game forced march continues. 6-3, doubling of the score for the Red Wings, Al.
Yeah, well, I don't know how many of those shirts they're going to sell this year with the Sharks on them. I know they had the big year last year. This may turn out to be the toughest year in their history. Second-year expansion team, plus the injuries they have. You're missing Falloon, missing Azolnish. I think that this is going to be a real rough ride the rest of the season. They get close. They don't have the guns to stay with Detroit at the end. It's going to be a frustrating season. They'll just have to build on it from here.
Even if they don't have the guns, they could have better coverage. But when you're mired in a slump as long as San Jose has been, having a terrible year, your coverage is helter-skelter. You don't make good decisions defensively. And really, in their defensive zone, they were all over the place tonight. From a Detroit standpoint, for the last few weeks, we've talked about Detroit. We have said, boy, have they ever underachieved. Really uninspired, the best way to describe them. That label is kind of changing now. I was pretty impressed with Detroit tonight. They're starting to put it together. They've only lost 3 of their last 14 games. They still need a bill collector on defense, a guy that makes you pay.
One thing to watch about Detroit, right before the All-Star break, guys, they go on a West Coast swing. They'll play the Edmontons, the Calgarys, the Vancouvers on the road. That may tell the tale as to what the Red Wings may be like late in the season. We'll be back with much more as we've concluded another edition of National Hockey Night on the ice. We'll be with you for quite a few more minutes to talk about the NHL. Red Wings win it 6-3 over San Jose. Stay with us.
They don't ask that you have the strength. They don't ask that you have the experience. All they ask is that you have the heart.
National Hockey Night is presented by Budweiser, the king of beers, with that fresh, pure, natural taste. Nothing beats a Bud.
Okay, in Detroit, the Red Wings over San Jose 6-3. That's one of only 3 games tonight in the NHL. One of those other 2 games is underway. And Kevin Todd, just acquired from the New Jersey Devils by Glenn Sather, the GM of the Edmonton Oilers. Wouldn't you know, Todd makes himself welcome in Edmonton right away. First period goal against the Whalers, his 6th of the season. Still to come later on tonight, Vancouver will be hosting the Buffalo Sabres. Now, who's hot and who's not? Well, Bill and Al are hot. We know that, but one of them has to talk about the players that are sizzling, and that means that, Bill Clement, we turn to you.
Well, there's hot and there's volcanic, right?
Right.
Volcanic is in Buffalo. Alexander McGillney is the hottest guy in the National Hockey League. What terrific numbers he has put up. He leads the league with 41 goals, in spite of the fact that he has missed 6 games. Phenomenal numbers. Now, he has a clone that plays in Vancouver. A guy that was an ex-linemate of his in Russia. His name's Pavel Bure, and he's just about as hot. He's number 3 in goal scoring behind McGillney and Mario Lemieux with 38 goals. Bure and McGillney, a highlight film every game. In Winnipeg, Finnish rookie Teemu Selanne is really doing it all for the Jets. 4th overall with 36 goals, leads all rookies. The next best rookie in goal scoring is Eric Lindros, and he's 15 goals behind. In Chicago, they've got #1 team defense, but it's backstopped by Ed Belfour. And you can say what you want about Eddie Belfour not facing a lot of shots. Sure, the guys in front of him do a great job, but Eddie Belfour is having a terrific season.
Well, and if you're going to look at goaltenders, Bill, you have to look to Philadelphia also, with Eric Lindros out. Tommy Soderstrom, the Swedish goaltenders, had an extended 2-week period now where he's been, I think, the hottest goaltender in the league.
And to talk about who's not, who better than Al? I mean, you stir up enough controversy around the NHL.
Let's see. If there's cold, then there's guys who should dress in an igloo, maybe.
Right.
You want to see when you got to go? Let's look in Los Angeles. That Finn Jari Kurri, who had such a great start to the season. No goals in his last 15. He had 15 goals in his first 19 games when he was filling in. Wayne Gretzky was out. Only 2 since then. You go up north, one of Curry's ex-teammates, Esa Tikkanen, terrible season, 6 goals this season, -15 rating, making $1 million, and it's not going to sit well there. He will be moved eventually. Now, goaltender Mike Richter, bad day, sent down to Binghamton. Richter, some say, hasn't been the same since the bad goal he allowed against Pittsburgh in the playoffs. Maybe he's the guy they lose in this expansion draft that's coming up. Finally, in Minnesota, Mike Modano, they're looking at as kind of a franchise guy. Makes a lot of money. He's a guy that should be a grandstand attraction, marquee player, but he's got to be consistent. He certainly hasn't been lately. He's been bumped around a lot.
Now, the Minnesota North Stars need their core guys, their nucleus guys going, and Mike Modano is definitely that type of guy, but I'm not sure Mike perceives himself as that type of guy. I think if his self-perception changed a little bit and realized what's expected of him, saw himself as a franchise player, that Bob Gainey might be able to get a little more out of him.
Well, guys, one hockey player we could put in the who's hot category just about every week is Steve Yzerman of the Detroit Red Wings. He had another goal tonight, another notch in his holster, if you will, and he's with our Gary Thorne and Jim Schoenfeld.
Red Wings winning it by a score of 6-3. And Steve Yzerman, who's going to go to the All-Star game for the 7th time, he never fails to give us the show, Jimmy, at the end of the game, does he?
Another sensational goal on a pass from Dino Ciccarelli. Steve, do you want to walk us through this one?
Sure. We just got a turnover inside our zone, and I was cutting through the middle, and just kind of they let me go, and Dino got the loose puck and threw it to me at center, and going in on the breakaway, I didn't realize here how close that guy was there from behind, but just made a little move and shot it in the far side.
Just a little move, just shot it in. Very easy, huh, Steve?
Well, I don't know. You just don't even think about it. You know, when you played, you got in those situations. You just went in and reacted.
Good for you, Steve.
I was in a lot of those situations. I was the sprawling defenseman trying to chop you as you went by.
Well, at least you were in there.
Okay.
Steve, tell us a little bit about this season for Detroit here. I'm particularly looking at the home record. Not quite as strong as it's been in past years. Is there any particular reason for that?
No, we really, it's really been strange. The last 15 games at home, we've really struggled. And last year and especially 2 years ago, we were really dominated at home. Our road record was excellent. Really created an atmosphere, an exciting atmosphere in the building for ourselves. And it's really been puzzling. But like I said, particularly of late, the last 15 games, we've really struggled at home, and I'm not sure why. But we realize it's extremely important to get it going and play well at home. You really have to establish kind of a presence in your own building.
All right, Steve, always a delight to watch you play, and thanks for coming by and joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Steve Yzerman, our guest, got his 33rd in this win tonight for Detroit 6-3. Tom?
All right, Gary and Jim. Yzerman is 33rd, as Gary mentioned, but one of his teammates, Steve Chason, had an important goal in this game, Bill, for the Detroit Red Wings. In fact, it proved to be the game winner.
turned out to be the winning goal. You basically have to score on most nights 4 goals to win in the National Hockey League. So San Jose didn't score enough to win, but defensively they didn't play well enough either, allowing 6 goals. And one of the problems I've already mentioned that we're going to look at is the coverage in their own zone. That starts with reading the play. You've got to read your coverage. Here's Sheldon Kennedy, cuts around trying to get to the net. This is Dave Maley, who's trying to cut him off. Now, Kennedy does a pretty good job of getting around, but everybody away from the puck at this stage should be saying, all right, where's my guy? And the Sharks didn't do that. Sillinger, number 23 right here, is heading in, and you see Doug Molek. He's a rookie. He's got to look to his left here and say, I got to get Sillinger. The reason I got to get him is my guy back here is not going to get him. That's Robin Bowen. He's lost him. So Smolek, number 19, stays over to the right, and that leaves a complete lane for Sillinger to move in for a loose puck that you can see sitting to the side of the net. Doug Wilson, the veteran without the helmet that you're looking at, 24, plays this right. He could go to Sillinger, but he's a smart guy. He says, I got to stay here with Bob Probert, otherwise Probert's going to kill my goaltender. Sillinger's allowed to step to the side, and you can see that Chason has come all the way in from the point, number 3 for the Red Wings. Not only did he get his first shot away, that's him, his second shot goes in. Here's the problem, that double coverage, and nobody knocked him down. You got to take this guy and eliminate him, and the Sharks didn't eliminate many Red Wings tonight.
Well, so the Red Wings get a bit of a rest with the expansion Sharks coming into the Red Wings building. They win the game. They're within 3 of Chicago. But, Al, they got to go to Philadelphia on Sunday, then back home hosting the Rangers on Tuesday. That's 2 Patrick Division tough tests for them coming up.
Yeah, and if you look at the Red Wings, I don't know, obviously you don't judge them against San Jose. I still look at them, how are they going to match up with Chicago? I see a game like this. I don't think that they can match up right now in a playoff series with Chicago. I think they need exactly what they needed early. They need to get a little meaner, a little tougher, maybe go out and find a Manson or somebody. I really believe by the end of the season that they make the move, that they go get what they need, and it'll be the kind of team that they're comfortable with going into the playoffs. They're secure enough they can look ahead to April.
Bill, is this a Detroit team? Do you think they still have to make some moves to threaten?
Yeah, I do. I think that, as I mentioned, I think they need a bill collector on defense. The difference between the Red Wings and Chicago is from the blue line back. Oh, the Chicago Blackhawks forwards will grind you to death. They'll drive for the net. The Red Wings forwards are capable of playing that way to a degree as well. But back on the blue line, when you take a look at Steve Smith and Brian Marchment and Chris Chelios, these guys make you pay the price when you come in front of their net and into their zone. Detroit Red Wings have a very gifted blue line. Mark Howe, Brad McCrimmon, and Lidstrom, and Chason, and Yves Racine, but they don't make you pay. That's the difference between these two teams. And when it comes right down to it, I think Brian Murray's going to say, we've got a team that's close to being able to go all the way. You just let it slip away, or do you get the guy you need to see if you can go all the way? I say you get the guy to see if you can go all the way.
Well, in the age of grabbing the brass ring in pro sports with all the dollars, I think you're right. You got to get the guy to go all the way and take a shot at it while you can. That remains to be seen if Detroit will do anything in the trade market. Not to be seen anymore, the San Jose Sharks, who swim out of town, losing 6-3. They'll be seen in Quebec tomorrow night. We'll be back at you with more on National Hockey Night in just a moment. In the NHL tonight, the Hartford Whalers taking on the Edmonton Oilers at Northlands Coliseum. They've ended the first period now. Kevin Todd, recently acquired from the New Jersey Devils just a couple of days ago, with the only goal of the game. You see, the Oilers have been struggling recently, and Hartford has been struggling all year. Still to come tonight, the Buffalo Sabres skating at the PNE Coliseum against the Vancouver Canucks. Well, Eric Lindros, the very talented and much publicized multi-million-dollar rookie of the Philadelphia Flyers, has had the injury bug of late. He did skate last Saturday afternoon at the Spectrum in a win against the New York Rangers. Flyers won the game 4-3. That was the good news. But the following day, last Sunday, Lindros reported fluid on his knee. His knee was acting up again. The bottom line is he has been sit down now for a few weeks, 3.5 weeks, we hear, Al. And the Flyers obviously want this guy healthy physically, but he's got some off-ice problems. His parents getting involved? What is this?
No, there was a story that his dad actually wasn't a story. His dad suggested that maybe he wasn't handled properly, the injury. It was a vague suggestion. However, I think unfair. I think the Flyers took a cheap shot in this situation. There's no way that an organization pushes a treasure like that. They were going to sit him out until he said he was ready. Now, what more can you do than ask the athlete? Eric Lindros, as we said, 19 years old, strong, never really been hurt that badly before. They couldn't say, sit down, we think you're bad even if you don't. He had to tell him the truth. It wasn't the Flyers' fault, and I honestly think at this point Eric maybe calls home and says, why don't you unplug the phone the rest of the season?
But that never happens, does it? The incredible thing about Eric and his family, usually when you have an athlete that's in the eye of the hurricane and everybody's picking at him and he's a superstar, you wait till the big championship game and his mom and his dad are sitting in the stands, they get a little interview. Well, it's Eric and his mom and dad. They're as widely quoted as he is. And when something happens to Eric, everybody rushes to his dad for a quote, rushes to his mom for a quote, and they're getting pulled at, and I think sometimes the wrong things comes out of everybody's mouth, including his mom and dad, because they're being pulled at the same way he is.
That's what I mentioned earlier, the Flyers trying to stress to him that the standards are different for him. Every little move he makes is followed. Every little move all season, probably through his career.
You know what? He better get used to it. He's a multi-million-dollar pro. He's 19, but he's a pro, and he's got to take care of himself and take responsibility for himself. Well, Wayne Gretzky, of course, has been the shining light of the National Hockey League for over a decade now. Wayne returned about 10 days ago to the lineup of the Los Angeles Kings. Wayne looked good early on. The Kings lost a couple of games. Then they won a couple of games in Chicago. And then he had 2 goals against the Jets in our last telecast. Here he is against the Chicago Blackhawks. His team last Sunday night, he assisted on that goal. And so Wayne Gretzky is back. His team was beaten badly, though, in their last game against the New Jersey Devils, 7-1. They'll be at home against the Winnipeg Jets tomorrow night. And, guys, what do you think about Wayne Gretzky's return so far, about 5 games in?
At 21, Wayne could do it all himself. You know, Al's already mentioned Jari Kurri in a terrific slump out there, and they're really not going well offensively. Wayne was held off the scoreboard, off the point board in his last outing, but in his first 3 games back, including the one we had on ESPN, he was able to get a couple of goals. But the fact remains, Wayne can't do it himself. At 21, he was able to. He's 31. He's going to be 32 at the end of the month. He needs Jari Kurri to produce. He needs Tony Granato to produce. He needs Tomas Sandstrom to come back. I think Wayne is playing to a 31-year-old potential. He's still a terrific star athlete in the National Hockey League, but for the Kings to win, it can't be all Wayne. And the league needs Wayne Gretzky with Mario Lemieux now out of the picture for the next few weeks. The league needs Gretzky to start making some headlines.
He'll make some headlines. The real optimistic viewpoint on this is that he goes into Chicago, the small stadium, and he gets hit. And I know we're all holding our breath. No matter what you're told, it's a back injury. You want to see what happens after the collisions. He had the collisions. He's fine. I don't see any reason why you'd think, oh, it's going to be a recurring thing. I think the Kings can now plan on him forever. And as far as him being an attraction for the league, he's there. He'll be at the All-Star game. Everything's going to be fine.
Forever's a long time, though.
Well, forever's a year or 2 anyway.
Oh, okay.
As long as Wayne Gretzky is breathing, he'll be at the National Hockey League All-Star game. We know that. Well, in Buffalo, there's lots of good news, and I don't talk about the Buffalo Bills here. They don't play till Sunday. There's lots of good news about the Buffalo Sabres lately, and the league's first 40-goal scorer this year, Alexander Mogilny, is right in the middle of all the headlines. Our Linda Cohn caught up with Mogilny at a recent road stop.
Alexander Mogilny didn't wait for the Iron Curtain to fall. A year after helping the Soviet Union to an Olympic gold medal in Calgary, Mogilny left Moscow to play pro hockey for the Buffalo Sabres. But this defector turned out to be a disappointment. Mogilny was seen as an underachiever who didn't work hard. He didn't like Buffalo, and he didn't like traveling to any other city for that matter. But most of all, he wasn't prepared to assume the role of superstar at the age of 20.
Coming from one culture to another, new culture, and just such a big shock, and it's totally different. Everything's different, and you just can't imagine how I felt.
Aren't we looking at 2 different Alexes from a year and a half ago to now? What do you see? Do you see this?
Well, I see a more mature person. I see a person that's very relaxed. I see a person who trusts his teammates and the coaching staff and people surrounding him, and he felt a little uncomfortable. I think that was his biggest problem coming from the Soviet Union.
This season, Mogilny made up his mind and publicly committed himself to be the player everyone expected him to be. He's not disappointing anybody now. Mogilny's on track to shatter the Sabres' single-season scoring record held by Danny Gare with 56 goals. Now, Mogilny finds himself torn between success and notoriety.
I hope people don't realize just how many goals I score, and I'm trying to have that in the back of my mind. Things like, oh, maybe a couple tonight. I hope they won't notice me.
Why? Why so modest?
I don't know. I'm not ready for this yet, I guess.
While it took Alexander Mogilny a full 3 years before he felt comfortable as a professional hockey player in the United States, it's in his personal life where he still leads a guarded and cautious existence.
I don't let anybody become close to me, because I don't want to get hurt, and I don't want to hurt anybody. And I lost a couple friends here. Well, I lost it in reason, but they got traded, and it's kind of, I had got my heart broken. I sound like a little baby now, but, I'm not used to that. And I kind of said, I can't have a friends on the team anymore, because if someday I'm going to be traded or they're going to be traded, I don't want to next couple days walked like a bum out there, you know, and just, God, why?
Mogilny is able to now keep it all in perspective. His maturity has had a rippling effect on his teammates. He's inspired them and helped make them winners.
Not only is he on such a torrid pace, but the team is right there too. And when you can have team success and individual success, that's what hockey's all about. Team plays well, I start scoring, and everything's doing so good now. Everybody likes it. You know, it's just everybody having a good time, and I love it. I enjoy it.
And as we speak, fellas, Alexander Mogilny is warming up on the ice in Vancouver for tonight's game.
Well, it doesn't hurt to have Pat LaFontaine there the whole season to help you along. But another thing with the Russian players that come over, I believe that some of the stars that come over actually don't have the respect the entire NHL, the second-level players. And when Mogilny first came in, one-on-one moves all over the place, like he was going to go through everybody. And as you go around, you learn to respect and learn to pass. You do learn the league as you go through it a second time. And as you see with Pavel Bure, the younger guys coming in are going to do a lot better.
You know, he's the first athlete, non-North American athlete, I've heard really express the magnitude of the adjustment so well. And he said it was a terrific adjustment. A lot of players have come and tried to make it, and they've fallen flat on their face, and it's not because of their hockey stats. You can't just look at their numbers in Europe and Russia and say they're going to be great here. Alexander Mogilny is living proof that there's a tremendous adjustment that he had to make. He's one of the lucky ones. A lot of them will, some of them still won't.
Remember, Mogilny was not drafted. He defected. He was one of the last military defectors, so a big change in society and in cultures for Mogilny, and he's really finding his way on the ice. Look at the Adams division, so are the Buffalo Sabres. They're within a couple of points of second place, so they're right in the playoff race.
There's one battery that back.
National Hockey Night, Saturday Night Live. Dana Carvey. Now, what about Mark Messier and Wayne Gretzky? We got them for you. Mark the starting time, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time. The New York Rangers and the Los Angeles Kings. Both teams have been struggling. They hope to get well against each other. Someone will be happy, someone will be disappointed. We'll be happy if you're with us next week. For Al Morganti, for Bill Clement, I'm Tom Mees. Our final score again tonight from Detroit. Red Wings over the Sharks, 6-3. We'll see you a week from tomorrow. The Rangers at the Kings. Good night, everyone.